Hello there, live on a Tuesday, and I hope you are all ready for a battle of the ages. So I am doing my best to set this up as a as a wonderful new format for this show, and I'm hoping that you guys are willing to be very active participants tonight because we will absolutely be needing you. Tonight is going to be a battle for the ages that, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm calling In Defense of the Genre, which is a reference to a emo pop punk band called Say Anything, where we are going to have two individuals come in and defend a genre to the death, literally. But there's a whole lot of twists coming that they have no clue about, and they are both very anxious about. So we're going to dive in with both of our active competitors now. First, in our blue corner, we've got the Professor Emeritus. We've got the Sultan of Franco. We've got the fighter from North Carolina. Nothing. He says he is not a professional funny man, and he's very nervous. We have Dr. Will Dodson. Thanks for coming on tonight.
The Sultan of Franco. I'll take that.
Yeah, I did my best. I should have said something like the fighter of Franco. In the red corner, his opponent for tonight is really, really anxious to come and take his A game to the absolute top of the ring and smother Mr. Dr. Dodson with his knowledge on comedy. It is writer and comedian Jeremy Long, and I'd like to point out this is the first time the two of them have been on the show together.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Oh, wait. Wrong sport.
I love that you had to take the glasses off just to get it on.
I did.
All right.
Still really, really tight.
So Stan immediately said, ding, 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 round one. You have no idea how apropos. We're going to try to make that tonight. Holland is here for the fight. Alyssa Smith says, hello, happy to catch us live. We are happy you're here. Emo pop punk, hell yeah, Stan, it's the best.
By the way, I might add that I've seen Say Anything several times live. I love them. So what a great reference. They performed at the Troubadour here in Los Angeles 3 nights in a row. I just went all 3 nights. First night, disc 1 of In Defense of the Genre. Second night, disc 2 of In Defense of the Genre, front to back. And third night, the other album. You know, the one with Alive with the Glory of... What's the name of that album?
I'm not even going to help. I love the level of knowledge you're bringing. All right, everybody, we are going to be doing the best we can to make this super interesting, but we need your help tonight. So I'm going to explain the game that I have sort of been crafting for the last couple of weeks. Both of our opponents here have sent me a list of their indefensible best 16 comedic TV shows of all time. What they don't know is I took that list and tore it to shreds and only kept some of those titles on our list of the night. And I've thrown some things that will be seen as perhaps some roadblocks in your way tonight. And you are going to be tasked to defend, no matter what the item is, your assigned show in your part of the bracket. Now, as we are going throughout this tonight, there are going to be a lot of things that we'll just say I randomly decide to make this a little more dramatic, and I will bring something up and you will have to react to it on the spot.
Is a Real Boy is the name of that other album.
I'm glad you got there finally.
If I may quote the brothers from the classic trauma film Mother's Day, disco sucks, punk's stupid.
Well, I was about to do it to him. We were still going to be able to stay.
You want to knock me out?
Will and I are both very nervous about this and have been for a while, I'm told. I didn't tell myself. I have been nervous. I was told that Will was nervous. And I even have my comfort food, which is peanut butter pretzels.
I have my comfort food as well, which is a liter of gas station wine.
Yeah.
I think this is about to go amazingly.
It was empty before we even started the stream.
I'm coming straight from class too, so I'm like,
and I'm
man.
coming straight from work.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we have a full 32 show bracket that we are going to fight through tonight to find out what is the best show of all time. Whoever is the one that is defending the final show that wins will be the winner of the inaugural episode of In Defense of the Genre. And as we go on, if you have any questions, please raise them. But the best part that we didn't even bring up yet, everybody that's in the chat, you are going to be able to decide who wins each and every single round.
Oh, shit.
We are going to be doing a lot to screw with them. And if you have any suggestions to screw with them, I was going to say I'm all ears, but I guess I'm all eyes. You can put it in the chat, and we'll figure something out.
John likes this trio.
Of course.
Hi, Stan.
This is
I
gonna
wish
be
I
like,
was eating. If there was ever a night to eat fat salads, it's tonight.
So we're going to try to go through this not super quickly, but on some of these, we're going to speed some things up because it's 32 shows. That's a lot to defend over the course of 9 hours. So
I don't think I've seen 32 shows.
New record.
First, I wanted to, of course, just bring the overall topic to each of us. We know that Jeremy knows comedy. Will, what is your history with comedic TV shows?
Well, Andy Griffith.
That's a good one.
Much. Ozzie and Harriet, that kind of thing.
How'd you come up with 16, Will?
Well, there was the Ricky Nelson show, and then there's Dennis the Menace, and
It's gonna be tough.
you know, my father saw Gomer Pyle sing opera.
Cool. You know, Gomer Pyle is my dad's favorite show of all time, so I watched a lot of that. Yeah.
You know, Jim Nabors was a bona fide opera singer, and my dad saw him in concert. Yeah, so I feel I bring a legacy to this debate.
Sam Newman's here, my boss and coworker.
Yep, I was going to say it. Will, what is your history with TV shows as far as, like, do you watch them very often? Because obviously we all are movie people. Are you super into TV?
No.
Did you know that when you paired us together, Ryan?
No. I think Will is being difficult on purpose.
No, you know, so I grew up in the 80s. So, I've seen every episode of Knight Rider and things like that. And I have a very specific, you know, kind of taste of the TV shows I've seen. But I wouldn't say that I'm as well versed in television as I am in other stuff. But, you know, I know enough.
I'll add that Will mentioned growing up in the 80s, and I just want to say that in case this was part of Ryan's dastardly plan all along, as a comedian and just fan of all things comedy, I am a big fan of classic, you know, comedies, classic sitcoms, classic comedy shows from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Not only did I grow up watching that a lot because of my dad, TV Land, things like that, but even just when becoming a comic, it's important to do your research and learn about the history of the history and what came before where you are currently. So I'm very well versed in a lot of despite my list being fairly mostly more recent shows, I am familiar and a big fan of a lot of the older comedy shows as well.
All right, challenge accepted.
Well, let's see how you respond to that then. Last question before we really get into this. This is one that this topic itself has led to a lot of debate over the last couple of years. And Stan Geezy comes in and says, there is really only one clear winner, guys. Is
Only
that
one?
something that
Only
only one winner?
Only one clear wiener?
Yeah. I'm trying to insert some comedy here. Come on.
Like a wiener that's translucent?
Yes. Do we think that there's one standout comedy show from all time that is far and away the best of the best?
It's hard to say because obviously,
Enough.
I mean, both of our lists are going to be. What did you say?
8 is enough. With the lady from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I know the lady. You don't know me, the lady. Yeah, I was gonna say news radio, but okay.
Oh shit, that's a good show. I'm friends with you now. I love that show. They even managed to pull off the John Lovett season really well. I thought
that's because John Lovett can do anything. Yeah,
that was on my first list. I took it off because I figured people would be like, "What's that?"
What the?
Yeah.
What answer was that? That Film Nut said that.
That was a minute ago. I'm not sure which one that was now.
Ryan really wants us to smack talk each other, and I'll do my best. But I dropped out of acting school for a reason.
I personally am excited to go up against Where's Waldo the College Years.
All right, you know what?
All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to reveal the bracket that we are talking about for this specific round, and then you all will see which one you're assigned by the initial from your first name, of course. One show will have a W, one will have a J. Will, you are going to go first as the individual that is on the right, and you're going to be the one that's defending this first one. And for anybody that hasn't seen these shows, we would like an explanation first of what the show is, and then, of course, follow that by why is this easily one of the best comedic TV shows of all time.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
I already hate this because I'm good at making lists, but I'm terrible at defending them. So go ahead.
And remember, I took your list, and not all 16 of your titles are left here. I assigned you both some curveballs that you did not pick.
What are the curveballs from each other's lists, or ones that you just pulled off out of thin air?
You'll see.
Oh man!
All right, are we ready to get into our first one?
I don't know.
Cosby Show. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First up, Will has listed Looney Tunes, and Jeremy will be defending extras. So, Will, you have the floor.
I mean, what do I need to say?
You're going to do great at this defending the genre show.
Well, look, the great thing about Looney Tunes as television shows is that they're endlessly repackageable. And they've been in various forms of compilation shows since the late 50s. So they have a proven track record of appealing to every generation through violence, the occasional grating racial stereotype, and and a stable of really well-rounded characters that all have an edge to them. I think if you stack up the Looney Tunes to their counterparts at Disney, you'll see the big differences. Edge. That's my initial salvo.
All right, that's your salvo. Jeremy, I don't hear a lot of people talking about extras.
Yeah, neither do I. It is a great show, though. For anybody who doesn't know, I will explain the show as Will Dodson did, since he couldn't follow the rules. Oh, smack talk!
Go ahead, try to make Ricky Gervais appealing.
For all those people who don't know what Looney Tunes is, you should have explained it, Doctor. Extras is a show that ran for 2 seasons, starring Ricky Gervais, where he is playing a extra, or also known as a background actor, here in Hollywood. Which, for anybody who is not familiar with that, it's one of the many hundreds of people on set that are sitting down at a restaurant and pretending to eat food in the background of the conversation that the 2 main characters are having and stuff like that. And the whole show is basically just about him trying to become a professional actor, and he is like talking. He has relationships with some of the other extras on set, like as friends, and they're all talking. And then each episode has a special guest star, somebody who plays themselves, and Patrick Stewart is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But a lot of great guest stars playing versions of themselves, really exaggerated versions of themselves. And listen, it's British humor, so right off the bat, I love it. And very dry, very sarcastic humor, very real life type of humor. For me, very relatable humor as somebody who was once an extra and background actor for many months or even many years, I guess. And out of all the Ricky Gervais shows that exist, of which there are many,
yeah, there are.
I would say it's his best work, in my opinion. And didn't stick around too long, like most UK shows, 2 seasons and they're out. It didn't overstay its welcome. So yeah, I guess that's all I'll say about it for now.
All right, so we had somebody ask what exactly are we voting on. That was Sardis. The sad part here, which is going to be difficult, but you're going to have to separate this. You're now not voting on the show. You're voting on who defended their show the best.
God.
And now, of course, we've got a couple different things that are going to make this difficult because Jeremy went into something that's very British, and a lot of people don't love British humor, and that was like his main first point. And then Staffino came in and said, I don't even consider Looney Tunes a TV show. It's movie cartoons. Obviously, it went into syndication, but is that something that maybe Will is cheating a little bit here, bending the definition?
I'll defend it. First of all, it is spelled Tunes, and if you care to look it up, Looney Tunes ran as syndicated shows on several television channels for decades. Now, if people want to disqualify me and go for a show that I consider overly sentimental instead, that's okay.
Overly sentimental extras?
That's my thing with Gervais, man. They all end with the sentimental crap. He's like an asshole for like the whole season, and then the last show, it's like, let's all have a cry.
I won't argue with that.
All right.
I think Life's Too Short. Life's Too Short was, I'll put that up there.
So now, in the chat, who defended their show better and which show should move on to the next round of this tournament right now?
That's not a show.
So we are going to go by voting for the person that defended it. Is it Will or is it Jeremy? In the chat, type Will or Jeremy.
Stan and I are always on point on these podcasts, no matter what topic it is.
I'm telling you, it's a show.
Stan's got back.
You can Google that shit. I didn't make it up.
Oh no, Stan just voted for Will. I take back everything I said.
Well, to be fair, he said Will is winning me over. He didn't vote yet.
That's true.
Hey, we got one vote for Jeremy.
All right, I'll take it.
This is going to be the high point of my night. I'm pretty certain.
Sam says neither one.
Well, we're not really doing a good job so far, to be honest.
While this is true, we'll see what happens next. Because this next one, this is going to be a difficult one to compare a little bit, but I'm interested in seeing how you pull this off. So.
The best part about Looney Tunes really is that Mel Blanc did all the voices.
Hell yeah, and don't forget the Carl Stalling music.
Should have used that as defense.
And the fact that Looney Tunes is so variegated that they can delete all their problematic characters and still have plenty of stuff to show. Hey, are we?
Will.
What?
So he's dead to me now.
Are we each defending 16 or are we each defending 32?
16.
Oh, okay, thank Christ.
32 would be insanity. All right, we're going to round 2, and this is where we're going to throw our first little roadblock in your way.
Wait, did we tally these up?
We did. Yeah, Will won fairly handily.
Son of a bitch.
So our second vote.
Like Looney Tunes is a classic.
Stan says I can out debate either of these yahoos.
I'm sure you could.
That's true.
All right.
Definitely true.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
All right. Second competition here. Will is defending Ally McBeal, and Jeremy is defending How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Here is how this one is going to be different. The first time you speak, you are going to be attacking the other show. So, Jeremy, the first thing you're going to do is attack Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
And Will, you are going to attack How I Met Your Mother. And you need to stop Googling, sir.
I'm going to have to Google.
Do I go first?
Yes, that's the point, Will. You had to be prepared.
I've never
I can't be prepared for
an episode of Ally McBeal in my life. Boom.
Extras did not move on, Sardis. It lost. As you see in the top right corner, Looney Tunes is on the second row there.
You're a little too zoomed in to see that, Ryan, to be fair.
Well, you can see the word loon up there, right? I'm trying to zoom in so that
Yeah,
the other
a
ones...
loon, just like Will Dodson.
I'm trying to zoom in so that the other votes are a surprise.
I know.
Here, there's Looney Tunes.
Jeremy's being so extra.
Obviously Sardis is on my side with extras. Geez, Ally McBeal. Listen, it's Ally McBeal ain't no one's mother.
In season 5, she is.
I don't know how to trash talk a show I've never watched in my life. I've heard of Ally McBeal.
She's Hayden Panettieri's mother in season 5.
Well, Will is having the same problem because he's never watched How I Met Your Mother.
I might have to flip sides because I love Hayden Panettiere.
You don't know anything about Callista Flockhart and Ally McBeal?
I don't.
Come on.
You said here, it's weird because you just said to Will, oh, yeah, you were supposed to do research beforehand. I didn't have Will's list. How was I supposed
That's
to?
the point. You're just supposed to know it. You're defending a genre.
I know some things about
I know my shows.
Yes, Ally McBeal did have that damn dancing baby meme.
That's right.
I don't even know that.
All right, Will, you can attack How I Met Your Mother now since Jeremy's laying down his sword.
She invented CGI.
Yeah, but Will doesn't know How I Met Your Mother either. Go ahead.
I know some things about it. I know.
You're not legally allowed to attack it because Bob Saget is the narrator and he passed away.
That saddens me. But I would feel no issue attacking Full House. How I Met Your Mother inexplicably ran for like 8 or 9 seasons.
8.
Okay. And Doogie Howser and Jason Segel, right?
Correct. Those are 2 of the characters, yeah.
All right. And it's tired. It's just, a battle of the sexes thing. And then the ending was so problematic.
Are you familiar with the ending, Will?
It was like an apocalypse or something, and they died. Everybody.
Yeah. All the mothers got wiped off of the planet, and only daddies were left.
Right, and that is problematic to me. I don't want to get all political or anything, but
yeah,
that's problematic.
And I'm pretty progressive, but we don't have to get up on a pedestal about it.
Well, now that we've done that, let's give a 30-second defense to their very empty attacks here. So, Will, why don't you defend Ally McBeal here for 30
at all how Ryan planned?
Well, this one did, because I kind of expected neither of you to know either of these shows, and I wanted this one to be a train wreck. So, Will, you have this was a success for sure. You have 30 seconds, and there's an actual timer. Go.
Okay. Ally McBeal was a product of its time, certainly, but also was quite progressive in its gender politics, its use of debates over political correctness, its somewhat progressive views about issues around sexual harassment and what we might now refer to as girl bossing. All of its characters, even Robert Grant's, were well-rounded.
Those things sound hilarious. Yes, sexual harassment. Jeremy.
You're not supposed to attack.
Who said I was an impartial judge?
Start the timer.
Go.
How I Met Your Mother has no sexual harassment right up front.
It has tons.
Fact.
The whole character of Barney is based around sexual harassment.
I know for a fact Doogie Howser harasses.
Yeah, but in real life he's gay, so it doesn't count.
That's not what that means.
So, anyways, how am I on time?
You can start over, as far as I'm concerned, with your regressiveness.
Time. All right. That was a train wreck. So basically,
that's like you wanted, apparently.
Everybody now is going to vote. Did Jeremy defend How I Met Your Mother, or did Will defend Ally McBeal, the sexual harassment episode?
Look, I want 5 minutes.
5 minutes
for Ally McBeal.
I'm sorry, Callista Flockhart does not deserve 5 minutes for this show.
Yeah,
I'm never put on your channel again. It's my favorite show of all time.
All right. We are voting in the chat. Is
ring light? No ring light. Ring light? No ring light.
Did Will defend better or did Jeremy defend better?
Domino says tied, which I think is the most accurate because we were both terrible.
Media Membrane voted for me. What does that? Do I just pick the better show?
Maybe. A lot of people are saying tie, so you might have to be the impartial vote here, Ryan.
Stan got a vote somehow.
Ally McBeal is a great show. It doesn't need defending.
We've got one vote for each of you. Ooh, now there's 2 for Jeremy.
Well, hell yeah.
I'll give another 30 seconds to count. Stan refuses to cast a vote.
If nothing else, Will won the last one, so I have to.
Oh, so you're going for like equity?
Yeah, got a little back and forth.
There's like vote for me for DEI reasons.
10 more seconds right now. Jeremy's ahead by 1. Oh, of course, Alyssa got Will, so now it's a tie. I'm going to have to cast that tie vote. 5, 4, Ross Perot.
He was right. He was right.
Oh, man. 3, 2,
I could go
1.
back for Ross Perot too.
All right. I apologize. I'm going to have to cast the winning vote here. You'll see who it was in just a second. But this is where we're going to have our first interesting round here. And we're going to make you guys defend this one immediately again. We're just going to go to the elephant in the room and say, Will, you're up first, defending The Cosby Show.
Did you call me an elephant?
Did you pick this?
Yeah, I did.
And Jeremy, you're going to be defending Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
I'm not defending Bill Cosby.
All right, Will, you're up.
Let's cancel this round. Everybody just votes for me automatically. Will's trying to defend a sex predator.
Don't forget, James Franco's in Freaks and Geeks.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Will Elvis Dodson over here.
All right, Will, you're up. Cosby Show.
All right. Well, I would like to point out that despite the name of the show, there are additional illustrious actors, including Felicia Rashad, Lisa Bonan, Michael Jamal Warner, Tempest Bledsoe, Keisha Knight Pulliam, and whoever played Sandra.
A couple cameos by the Adam Sandler.
That's right. I thought for a long time about whether to include this, and I did not want to include any shows just because of their like historical importance, right? I was just looking at the comedy, not who was in it, just the comedy. And I think that the consistency of the writing, the consistency and, well, really evolution of the performances, especially by what may be one of the best stable of child actors on any show, really elevated The Cosby Show. The unique opportunities they had to spotlight and platform historically important and historically under seen performers, kind of enhanced the comedy because it gave people performers chances to be seen in a comedic light when they had not otherwise had the opportunity, perhaps just been seen as dancers or singers and whatnot. And the sheer popularity of it, which is normally not something that I would go to, but the fact that it appealed to such a wide audience is, I think, unique to sitcoms, not just of its era, but of television's history in general.
Can you tell anybody that has never seen it, which nowadays I think is a lot more people than you'd probably think, what the show's about?
Yeah, like I brought it up to some students last semester when we were talking about historical sitcoms, and a lot of people had never even heard of Bill Cosby, like somehow.
Lucky?
Yes. So what's it about? It's about an upper middle class family, well, actually wealthy.
Yes.
A wealthy family, a doctor, an OBGYN, which of course takes on the residents I recognize now. An OBGYN and a high-powered lawyer are raising their 5 children. 2 of whom are already adult by the time we begin, in a brownstone in New York, and various hilarities ensue, especially when Theo wants to drop out of school and get a job like regular people.
Well, thank you for sharing that show that was named after a date rapist. Jeremy, what do you got for us?
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that.
They weren't dates.
Somebody even said, "Well, I'm convinced" in the comments. It was a very convincing argument, especially for a date rapist, Will Dodson.
Congratulations. It wasn't a date. He's a rapist. Just don't soften it with an adjective.
Meaning he drugged them. That's colloquially what that refers to.
Serial rapist is the term I prefer.
My show has nobody slipping anything into drinks that I'm aware of.
Although some teenagers do get drunk.
But do they slip things into the drinks?
No, just actual alcohol.
Freaks and Geeks is a great show, so ahead of its time that no one watched it when it was on, and it got canceled after 1 season. It launched the comedy careers of several of today's great comedy actors, including Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, Franco, who is pretty problematic too, as someone just thankfully pointed out right in the middle of me trying to defend the show. The great Linda Cardellini, obviously. But not only in terms of launching comedy careers of actors, it was really one of the very first shows of 2 of our great comedy creators to this day, Paul Feig and Judd Apatow, who combined as producers on this show, and went on to create so many great comedies that we know and love to this day. And not only that, it's one of the few shows, and this is why it's on my list, that expertly weaved real life. It did lead to the underrated Undeclared. That's correct. Even more underrated than Freaks and Geeks. It's one of the only shows in my book that almost perfectly weaves together drama and comedy in a way that almost seems seamless, while other shows maybe come close. There might be a little heavy-handed on one side or the other. Freaks and Geeks just did it so seamlessly, where it's like, you didn't even, 1 minute you're laughing, the next minute you're crying or feeling heartfelt, and all the problems were not overly dramatic that the characters had. It was all real life, relatable stuff, and the characters were just so realistic and raw that it was just so easy to relate to them. When I watch it, it's easy for me to slip in and feel like these characters are real people that I know and not just actors, which I think is easier for a movie to do sometimes and a little less are a little more difficult for a show to do. But again, very ahead of its time. Obviously now very much a cult classic in a lot of ways, but at the time it got canceled after one season. So sad.
I will have to call it there. I do have to throw in 1 point. You said that Freaks and Geeks launched the comedy career of and listed many people, one of them being Paul Rudd, who starred in Clueless years before this, and also Halloween 6. But on top of that,
I was just naming people in the show. So sorry.
Paul Rudd is not in Freaks and Geeks, sir.
Oh no, he's on Undeclared. I got him backwards.
So which one are you defending here? I'm confused now.
That's what I was getting at, because that seemed a little problematic there.
I'm defending Freaks and Geeks for the record. I just got mixed up on the cast.
Well, I didn't say a word about a different world.
All right. So I have in my mind a very clear winner for this one, even though this personally is a much closer fight than it probably should be. And nobody knows who I'm talking about, but
I know
this could easily go either one. Now we are voting who defended their shows better. Did Will defend The Cosby Show better, or did Jeremy defend Freaks and Geeks better?
Actually, I would like to say I love Freaks and Geeks. I got into it because of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 connection with Joel and the first Servo guy. I don't mind how anybody votes. History will decide.
I don't mind either, because I also love The Cosby Show, and I don't even mind. I don't even care that he's a date rapist. And
Serial.
Personal life aside of that man, as a comedian and respecting the history of comedy, I still have a lot of his comedy records. His comedy is still hilarious. His show is still great and very historic for a lot of other reasons, as Will pointed out. So I am also fine with either vote.
Honestly, of all the people who could have turned out to be a monster, I think I'm like the saddest about this one. Yeah. I convinced Jeremy wins.
We got.
All right, so by a score of 4 points ahead of Will, Jeremy has won this round, and Freaks and Geeks.
Decisive.
I think I won just because of Cosby, though. I don't think I did a better job defending it, to be honest.
Well, they managed to keep Franco out of the spotlight pretty well.
They did.
Yeah.
So for this next one, I think this is going to be very difficult for one of you, and I apologize in advance because
I think I won because my show wasn't called the James Franco Show.
I love how Sam keeps repeatedly voting for Will, and then he said kidding.
Just trying to make me quit.
So I will go ahead.
You didn't say there was a 1 vote max or anything.
No, I didn't. But yes, there clearly is. This next one is going to be difficult for one of you, unless you surprise me and you have seen your show. I apologize in advance. We are going to keep this to 30 seconds to defend the show, just to see this be funny, so that neither one of you can look up anything. Now remember, genuinely, 30 seconds to defend the show. That's it. 30 seconds to defend. Will,
man,
you are up.
My hands are full of pretzel bites. How am I supposed to Google anything?
30 seconds. I can't even. I don't know. Okay, 30 seconds.
I can give you 45 and Jeremy 30 if you want.
No, we'll keep the.
You know what? Give me 15 seconds. I like a challenge.
All right. I hope that this surprises everybody. Will, you're up first defending Flight of the Conchords. Ready? Go.
It's a good choice, though.
Well, I'm the hip hopopotamus. My rhymes are bottomless. It's funny, they got the accents and the voices, and they make the songs and stuff, and there's cameos by some of your favorite alt comedy people, and there's the one guy was in The Hobbit.
Defending the show by saying the guy was in The Hobbit.
I think it was the
You're
one that
making me
didn't.
feel
The one
a
that,
lot better about what I'm about to say in 30 seconds, Will.
wait, is that the one? I haven't. Is that the one about the horse in therapy?
Yes.
Okay,
Jeremy, go.
Go for it.
Well, it's funny. Nobody in it was in The Hobbit, but there's.
I mean, that's actually probably not true. There's a lot of guests.
There's a lot of guests. Listen, it's another show that really blends comedy and drama well, which is my forte when I'm looking for a comedy show. I know we're talking about comedy shows, but for me, that's a huge bonus on a show if they can expertly weave those genres. And listen, it's talking animals. What's not to love?
Okay, so
So is Looney Tunes all of a sudden?
Hey, we already established that Looney Tunes isn't even a show, Dodson, so
It's a show that beat extras.
okay.
Funny enough, I lost my headphones for a second. All right, we're back. Okay, so we had some questions.
Did you happen to lose your headphones during my defending of BoJack Horseman? Because I could have another 30 seconds.
No, thankfully it was when you were defending Looney Tunes.
I think you should give him another 30 seconds because you should give him some more time. That was, I don't know what.
We had a question. Sardis says, are these U.S. shows? And surprisingly, yes, even though Flight of the Conchords is made up of mostly New Zealand individuals.
Yeah.
Which is how I know he was in The Hobbit.
This is true.
I think it's really hard for our audience to not pick the person based on the show. I mean, it would be hard for me to not pick on it.
But the whole point of this is who is better at defending the genre. And so you have to win them over with your ability to defend. And I'm sorry, Will. I have a feeling that you're not
what Stan just said? How was mine any more lackluster than Will? He barely got 2 words out.
Well, Will did attempt to rap.
That's true. I'll give him points for that.
So now I will reveal the sad part of this. Lots of people, like Sam just said, I vote for Jeremy, but Concords is brilliant. Stan says Flight of the Conchords, brilliant choice. This was one of my choices. I adore this show. I think that this is easily one of the funny shows of all time. And I took one of Will's choices away and put it in.
It was in my initial list of like.
Yeah, it almost made my list. It's a good pick.
Interesting.
But
Concords is misspelled. Well, no, it's a musical group. Okay.
Back off, grammar Nazi.
So we are voting.
And did I ever tell you about how my ex-girlfriend was a grammar Nazi? I know I'm the grammar Nazi. Did I ever tell you how much of a grammar Nazi I am? Yeah. I would always be correcting my ex-girlfriend's grammar. That's why we're in exes now. And she's my ex-girlfriend because I was always correcting her grammar. She's like, Jeremy, what's with all these red pen marks in my diary?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Please vote in the chat. I'm sorry to cut Will off. We'll have your joke in a second. Vote in the chat. Jeremy defending BoJack Horseman or Will defending Flight of the Conchords. Please vote now. Will or Jeremy?
Please feel free to vote for me based on that joke that I just did and not my actual defending of the show.
Hey, my mom had to go into surgery recently.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Now she can't have periods and she's only got a semicolon. I stand by it.
That's a good one.
I stand by it. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, it's a good writing joke. I like it.
We got one abstain. Let's see. Stan says grammar Nazis unite.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we see where that's going.
Hippopotamus. That's it.
I was just trying to prove I had seen Flight of the Conchords.
So right now, Jeremy is up by 2. I'll give it another 10 seconds or so.
There's only 2 people watching.
Wow.
JK. There's 31. We have about the same viewership as a syndicated Cosby Show.
That is a joke from my ex, Dan. Thank you for asking.
I wonder how good Cosby does in syndication nowadays.
I don't know if it even is.
All right, that one is going to BoJack Horseman. So, how do we feel like we're doing at the moment?
I feel better that Will isn't doing a better job because I'm doing terribly. So it makes me feel better about myself and in good company. And I think I'm also winning currently, so I feel good about that.
While that's true, when we go to the next round, because you can't defend against yourself, Will is going to have to take over some of your picks.
You mean Will's defending twice?
He will defend against you, and you will get one show, and he will get one if it's 2 Jeremy shows together.
Oh, okay.
Well, why am I going to defend a shitty show?
We'll make it work, I promise.
You don't. You liked Freaks and Geeks, you said.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, James Franco is problematic. The show.
Well, and I also, I don't know. They had that. They had that one episode about the gender assignment at birth situation.
I thought your needle skipped there for a second.
Well, I felt like the show where they kind of tackled the issue of gender assignments at birth was a little flat-footed. I appreciate that they tried to do it, but I feel like Seth Rogen was probably not the guy to pull that particular thing off. Or maybe it was good that Seth Rogen was the one that was like, I don't care as long as you fuck me.
That's a pretty good voice.
Not bad.
All right, go on to the next one.
All right, we're going to go on to the next one. This one, I genuinely want to hear this in terms of defending it based on comedic history.
Oof.
Comedic history. Jeremy's going to say oof one more time when he realizes he did not pick this show. Here we go.
Either of them?
Will is defending The Jeffersons.
Oh,
Jeremy is defending Friends.
Oh, I mean, at least it's one I've seen, not Alex.
Okay, so Jeremy, you're going to go first this
Haven't
time.
seen The Jeffersons?
I know I've seen The Jeffersons. I'm saying I hadn't seen that other one that you picked.
Oh, Ally McBeal. Well, it's the greatest show of all time.
Jeremy, you're defending Friends first. Go ahead.
Now I have 30 seconds.
No, I'm giving you a little more. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, great.
Could you have any more time?
How you doing? So in terms of defending its history, I could be
effect on comedic history.
Oh, comedic history. Yikes-a-rooney. It's I feel like it's one of the first shows. This is in the dawn of a new age of comedy television. And we're clearly battling two separate eras of comedy television here, which I'm sure is very purposeful of Ryan. And Friends is what, early 90s, right?
94.
Yeah, mid 90s. And so we're entering this what I believe to be a new age of comedy, of sitcoms that were less about what's going on in the world and things of that nature, such as something like The Jeffersons or All in the Family or Sanford and the Son, and more into the realm of relationship comedy. I was trying to think of a different word. And it's kind of one of the first, if not the first show of the era of a bunch of friends hanging out. I mean, the show's literally called Friends. But you have so many shows that came after that copied that comedic style, including shows that we've already talked about tonight, like How I Met Your Mother and That 70s Show and things like that. And this was one of the first ones to establish that kind of group dynamic. I could be wrong about that, but it's one of the first ones that I can remember. Which again, I think it's if it's not one of the first ones, it was one of the first of I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Can I only have? Can you just give me 30 seconds, Ryan?
You're such a Ross.
Well, I'll throw back out there too, since you're going down that route. The controversy of 1994 is that Living Single, which was a very black show, premiered in 1993 with essentially the exact same premise.
Friends
In
is
1993?
a remake. Friends is a remake of Living Single.
I made Stan fall asleep.
But no, seriously, Friends is a remake of Living Single.
Oh, I did not know that. Though I have seen Friends, I'm not a huge fan of Friends, to be honest. So it's hard for me to defend it.
Well, you're going to get a lot of votes now. All right, Will. Let's go through the Jeffersons.
Oh man, I should only have to say 2 words, and those are Sherman Helmsley. But I'll continue. This, of course, is a spinoff, one of the first spinoffs from the Norman Lear juggernaut of sitcoms, starting with All in the Family, of course. This was such a trailblazer in integrating social commentary into jokes that are objectively hilarious. This was the first, as far as my experience goes, this was the first show, and I may be wrong on this, but this was the first show I saw in prime time that put racial humor in the mouths and in the like agency of black characters. And Sherman Helmsley could spit fire. I would also defend Amen. That's how good he was. I don't know if you all have seen Amen, but if you have, then you're cool. It was again, I don't necessarily take historical importance into account, but I don't see how the Cosby Show happens without the Jeffersons. I think this was one of the first, or one of the first shows about black characters who are in middle and upper middle class economic situations. The dynamic between the characters is especially with Marla Gibbs as the housekeeper, and she got her own spinoff that was delightful, 227, after this, was just electric. The show was cast perfectly. It went for like 11 seasons or something. And am I wrong on that? How many seasons? No, it went 11 seasons. I pulled it up. To go that long and to have writing and performances that are that consistent, give me a break.
Hey, I got that.
All right. Jefferson's is fucking awesome. That's my defense.
Well, 2 things. One, actually 3 things. If we're talking specifically about historical comedy, Will Dodson wins. If we're talking specifically about who had the better argument, Will Dodson wins. and 3, if we're talking because Will Dodson tried to defend Flight of the Conchords with a rap, I'll try and defend my show a second time with "Smelly cat, what are you?" I don't remember the words.
Hey, you know what? Paul Rudd actually was on this show.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Friends launched the comedy career of Mr. Paul Rudd, everybody. Add that. And whoever said I was a Phoebe is 100% accurate. I'm proud of it.
I'm just glad that people are pointing out a lot of the things that went into my choice of pitting these two against each other, because even though they weren't necessarily from the same era, they are mere opposites of each other in so many different ways. I mean, this was one of the quickest ways I went to it, just opposite sides of New York. The whole racial tension thing about it, with a lot of the people that are against Friends because of the complete lack of diversity in the show. The amount of like genuine comedy fans that have come from both, and the different types of comedy fans that have spawned are very different from these two. And it's sad that the Jeffersons aren't still in the mouth of a lot of people that talk about comedic shows, because it's literally brilliant.
Somebody give me a 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That would be expensive.
11 seasons on 4K.
And each season's like 28 episodes or whatever.
All right, just a Blu-ray then.
All right. I feel like I just completely derailed Jeremy's defense, but at the same time, he derailed his own defense. So anybody against me just giving the win to Will here for this one?
Definitely. But then I sang Smelly Cat, so I think I should get at least 2 points or something.
Okay, you can have 2 points.
I can get up and do a Sherman Helmsley dance, but I think I'd be canceled from the internet if I did that.
Ryan gave me 2 points, and much like whose line is it anyway, the points don't matter.
I forgot to set up the buzzer though. I'm sorry.
Is this whose line is it anyway, or is it at midnight?
I have always wanted to do a show like At Midnight.
Yeah. I was on an episode of At Midnight.
No shit.
In the audience. But they did cut to me at one point, and I went.
Way to bury the lead on that one.
Points.
Justin says Jeremy lost points for Smelly Cat.
Oh man, I tried so hard.
If only you had invented Post-its.
Is it because I didn't remember the words? Smelly cat, what are you doing here?
What are they feeding you?
Oh.
Okay, this next round. This is going to get a little interesting again, and you're going to see why, because these are 2 shows that hang very much on their specific acting abilities. And you are... Will's getting a refill. You are going to defend these first based on acting alone. And then we're going to go into a 30-second defense of the entire show. But I'm really curious to see what you say based on acting. And one of these, both of you had on your list.
Oh.
So I'm sorry that the other one doesn't get to defend this one, especially because all 3 of us love the show. So Will, you were going to be up first on this round. Will, you were going to give us Community based on the acting in the show. Do you see what I'm up against, Jeremy?
You literally didn't give that show to me when I'm wearing my Community shirt.
That's pretty bad, Ryan.
It wasn't my choice. I'm sorry.
Who made the choice?
This is how it shook up. Because I think you should leave to get more attention in life.
Well, it does deserve more attention. But
Right.
wait, we have to defend the acting?
Yes. And that's where I think you should leave. It's really possible to shine up against Community.
You do?
Very different shows, but go ahead.
Yep, very different shows on purpose. All right, go ahead, Will.
Well, there's the cast.
It's on Will's list?
Yeah.
Community was on both your lists. Yes.
So you've got one of the greatest living comedy writers in TV, along with one of the best casts. And I would like to say, in terms of their comedy experience and styles, a really eclectic cast. I mean, you had Joel McHale coming from Talk Soup. You had Alison Brie coming from, like, I don't know, whatever she does, improv. You got
always very valid defense words, whatever she does.
You've got, and she's great. You've got Chevy Chase, who's problematic, but also occasionally accidentally funny. I'm not a fan of Chevy Chase, even before.
Ooh.
And then North Carolina hero Ken Jeong, Jim Rash, Nicole Brown, Denny Pudi. The characters are so well rounded, so 3-dimensional, which is a synonym, which means I said the same thing twice, which fits into the central conceit of having multiple timelines. And repeated scenarios, for example, the annual paintball. I actually even like the season 4 situation. The Yahoo season, which brought in Frankie Dart, who had one of the greatest quotes in the entire show. just tells you the quality of the show. She said she never hopes. Hope is the incest baby of shit. I forget the quote.
Way to lose the quote at the words incest baby.
I lost it, dude. I lost it. Frankie Dart, incest baby.
I'd like to say that you're probably going to lose a couple points here for naming the entire cast and completely disregarding.
I'm not finished.
Okay, but Donald Glover deserves a special shout out.
Do you think I'm saving Donald Glover for the end?
It sure as frick seemed like you forgot him.
You think I forgot Donald Glover?
I mean, it sounded.
You, sir, are America. You, sir, are America. I am saving Donald Glover for last.
Okay.
I want to get this. I want to get this incest baby quote.
Everybody is voting. I mean, it's hard not. I don't even know what to say because as much. Okay.
Frankie Dart in season 6 says, "Oh God, no, I never hope. Hope is pouting in advance. Hope is faith's richer, bitchier sister. Hope is the deformed, attic-bound incest monster offspring of entitlement and fear." That is one of the greatest lines in the history of comedy, and I feel justified in looking it up because I want to make sure I got it right. And let's talk about Donald Glover for a second. That young man is talented. He brought such an easy charisma to his role. And at that point, he was mostly only known for his stand-up, and he was kind of in the alt kind of geeky stand-up genre. I don't know the technical terms, Jeremy. You can, but
well, he did call himself a blurred.
Right. Okay, that's funny. Donald Glover in that show did more with his eyes than Chevy Chase did in the entire however many seasons they tolerated him. And he managed to kind of pull everything together in those early seasons so that when he left to go on to do all the great things he's done with Childish Gambino in Atlanta, etc., the show had kind of found its footing. And no, I looked up the quote. I wanted to make sure I got it right. That's okay. It's fairly clear this is improv for the most part, I think.
If you haven't figured that out yet,
I want to make sure that there was another performer I didn't mention. I think I did mention Yvette Nicole Brown, right?
Yes.
Oh God, she was fantastic. But Jillian Jacobs, who is probably
obsessed with.
Oh, okay.
She went to Harvard.
She is so good in love.
Yeah, she's really good in love.
Do you want to like dox her or? No, she was so good in this show, and I think of all of them, she's probably had the least exposure since Community. Outside of Love, tell me what I'm forgetting.
Probably, I would say Danny Pudi had the least exposure.
Definitely.
Well, no, he's in that other show.
Oh, Mystery or Mythic Quest?
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but he hasn't done much else besides that.
But he's still on it because it's season 4 is coming soon.
True.
So, but I don't know what Jillian Jacobs is doing right now, but she should be doing.
Jillian Jacobs was in several movies that Danny Pudi did not get.
Oh, good. Well, I would prefer that. In the chat, if you could tell me what movies those are, so I could look them up. I'd like to.
That was a nice dig. Okay, Will has gone off the rocker here. We got a lot about acting. We also got
season 4. I just went all season 4.
We got a lot about the actual show as well. But even though Jeremy seems like reticent to give up at this point, I really want to.
Community is my favorite show of all time. It was number 1 on my list, and Ryan defiled me by giving it to Will.
I understand.
Had nothing to do with that.
However, I think you should leave. I think has a real opportunity here to step up with the good defense because the show is brilliant.
It's hard.
It's a brilliant show. Okay, so 2 very different shows here. We're talking about one of the most original sitcoms of all time, with some of the best writing you'll ever see in Community, and one of the best casts. And then you got I Think You Should Leave, which is a sketch comedy show with a whole lot of people that you probably don't recognize, although a few familiar faces that you do recognize. Will Forte, a lot of
Odenkirk.
what did you just say?
Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk. A lot of people that are used to doing sketch comedy. Odenkirk, Ben Stiller Show, The Birthday Boys, Will Forte, SNL, obviously. So a lot of the familiar sketch comedy folk make appearances, but the cast is led primarily by Mr. Tim Robinson, who was also on one season of SNL, and somebody who ended up taking off drastically since this show. Not surprisingly, although he seems to be more famous than Tim Robinson now, even though the show's named after Tim Robinson, which is Ryan. You have his name, or do I have to look it up because I forget?
Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson, who's been in a bunch of movies, recent comedy films, and also has his own show, After Party, now that he's the lead in, which is a Phil Lord and Chris Miller show, also very good. So it's primarily those two, and apparently they've been friends for a very, very long time and used to have another show that is absolutely hilarious called Detroiters. But it's just in an age where I personally feel in an age where I personally feel
There goes my hero.
I don't even know what to do now. How am I supposed to follow that?
Oh man.
In an age where Jeremy gets full screen for his passionate response, says Sardis. In an age where I feel the art of sketch comedy, at least on television, has severely declined. A lot of the more recent years of Saturday Night Live haven't, for me personally, haven't been very impressive. Obviously, the 70s, when it first started, was the golden age. I also really liked the 90s a lot, and then it started going downhill for me. But, you know, I digress. We got some classic sketch comedy shows like Monty Python, the very underrated Mr. Show, obviously SCTV, all great options that didn't run as long as Saturday Night Live and get a bit overwhelming. But my point is that type of show had seemed to have died out as of late, besides Saturday Night Live, which is just going to go on forever apparently. And in comes this independent, straight to streaming Netflix sketch comedy show with, again, a lot of people that primarily a cast of characters that most people are not familiar with, and by face or by name, and and just knocked it out of the park because the writing is so strong and the acting is so over the top that it literally singles itself out from just about any other sketch comedy show in existence. And wow, I feel like I'm not rambling any more or less than Mr. Will Dodson. But it does. It stands out because it's just so ridiculous and over the top. And, you know, certainly sketch comedy shows have done that before. I would say most specifically Monty Python of all of them. But it really just doesn't – it just is not afraid to go there with the most out there bonkers, ridiculous stuff. And by the way, one of the other things that makes this show as a sketch comedy show so brilliant is that I already mentioned how strong the writing is, but the writing is so strong that you can have a laugh out loud, like crying, laughing sketch in one location with like 3 people.
Yeah.
Many of the sketches in that show, they're in an office, like an office room, like I'm in right now. They're in whatever one, you know, at one, like at the living room. It's not relying on big spectacles in terms of scenery or environment. It's not relying on a huge cast of characters. Most of the sketches are primarily small. What?
I'm glad Ryan's amused.
Ryan,
Oh,
what?
man. That's a lovely comment. Oh man, that was really funny.
I don't know how I'm supposed to defend the show when I'm being raped in the comments.
Anyways,
Hate rape, sorry. It's just it's another show that I don't know what else to say. I think I defended it enough. It's not afraid to go to the absolute absurd. It's so over the top that it's the perfect mixture of over the top acting with brilliant writing combined together.
Brilliant writing. I remember one of my favorite lines: "Slopping some pig shit with fat fucks." That was there. I remember that one.
Brilliant.
Have you watched all of I Think You Should Leave, Will?
That's
like those guys should teach a class.
That's up there with your quote from from Community that you.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not that quote. That quote. That's life.
Will, have you watched I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah, I saw some of them. That was the one where the guy wanted to like. He was like taking a tour of a house and wanted to like find some place.
Okay, we're gonna put this one in misery because
hold on. I do want to say that despite however well you think I defended it, which is probably not good based on the comments. If you get anything out of this broadcast, I urge you to watch this show, like legitimately. It's very underrated. Not enough people watched it. It's crying, laughing, funny. It's amazing for repeat viewings. It never seems to get old. So if anybody watching it has not seen it yet.
Zombies ate my arm, said Jeremy printed it.
So Jeremy is not helping right now. I will just say I genuinely feel that Tim Robinson may be the best sketch actor ever. Just based on his performance. I'm not helping
it. I'm encouraging everybody to watch it.
Well, you're not helping the defense for sure.
According to the Mark Twain Award for American Humorist, Adam Sandler is the greatest sketch comedian.
Wait, say again?
Well, according to the Mark Twain Award for American Comedy, Adam Sandler is the greatest sketch comedian.
Is that true? He won a Mark Twain Award?
Yeah, last night.
Like yesterday. Anyways, so we're gonna vote because this needs to get taken out behind the bar.
All he did was okay.
Did Will defend Community worse, or did Jeremy defend I Think You Should Leave worse?
I can do it.
Who won this one? Did Will win or did Jeremy win? I think I know the answer.
Will won.
I think this is one where the show has to win. This is not fair to.
Yeah, you can't compete.
I think You Should Leave is really good, but come on, man.
Yeah,
I got Community.
Nah.
I would not be disappointed if Community won, even though we're not voting on the show, but it deserves to win.
The whole point is that it's who is the better defender. Anyways, we're going to go to the next one because I am curious to see how this gets defended, and I think Jeremy's going to get pissed off again.
You warned me about this prior to the show. That's why my stomach has been churning all. Oh, Jeff voted for me. That's nice. I got one vote on that last time.
So
I think it's pretty close.
The way that we're going to counteract what we just did is we are going to give 30 seconds to each of these shows. Jeremy, you are up first to defend the Golden Girls. Go.
I mean, Betty White, rest in peace, is... And then you got that other girl that other old lady that was in Grandma's Boy. She's great. And
this hurts.
One of the first shows to have all female leads, so got that going for it.
All right, Will. Why don't you defend The Simpsons?
I would have rather defend Golden Girls. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
The Simpsons is a true innovator of animated comedy It is has been an incubator for great comedy writers for decades. Its characters are iconic. Its scenarios are eclectic, and its cameos are variegated.
However, man, I really don't like The Simpsons compared to Golden Girls. I'll just throw that out there.
I'll go Golden Girls all day.
It's not that I've never watched Golden Girls. I just haven't watched enough Golden Girls.
Let me tell you, I'll talk to you about Rue McClanahan for a little bit.
I've seen some episodes here and there of Golden Girls.
You should probably binge it. It's one of the greater comedies of all time, for sure. Not to mention, it's genuinely one of the most progressive comedies. They went there on Golden Girls.
I like DC's comment. Will don't Dodson.
that's my life.
All right, so we are going to go straight into voting. Remember, we are not voting for the show. Did Will defend The Simpsons better, or did Jeremy defend Golden Girls better?
These 30-second things are tough.
Remember, I did say rest in peace, Betty White.
Well, they're all dead, dude.
They're all long dead.
The other ones?
I just don't know their names.
Rue McClanahan.
B. Arthur.
Estelle Getty.
Oh, yeah, B. Arthur.
Jesus Christ.
I'm more of a fan of C. Arthur myself, but
Ryan, make him defend Flipper.
For shame. Will, you got more coming, Will.
I can.
DC says I am the B. Arthur of the group.
Oh man! All right, we got a lot of Will votes here. So Will gets The Simpsons. We are going to go into our next one, and we're going to make this one another full-throated argument, because this is one I'm very curious to see how you guys defend these against each other.
Thank you, Stan. Stan voted for me.
This is the last on one side of the bracket. That's how far we've gotten.
Oh shit!
Will is going to be defending I Love Lucy against Jeremy's It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So Will, you are up.
That's a tough one.
I feel better about this one.
Yeah, so
30 seconds?
No, full-throated.
Okay. I like having 30 seconds. I don't ramble.
Fine, we'll go 45 seconds. That's it. We'll get a little more time, because I feel like these deserve a little more time.
You can give us a minute if you want. I just don't
45, go.
I've always been known as a full-throated individual.
Well, you wasted 8 seconds to say that.
I wouldn't waste it. Look, Lucille Ball is the grande dame of American comedy. She and Ricky Ricardo created a show that became the template for sitcoms to follow. The scenarios are eclectic, eccentric, and at times incongruous. And her performances melded the hysterical with the subtle in ways that have never been seen since. And did I mention Ricky Ricardo? Funny guy.
Oh man,
Desi Arnaz. And John Wayne was on one. That was funny. I like the John Wayne episode.
All right, Jeremy, 45, go.
I would say in Philadelphia, it speaks for itself that it's on its 18th, 17th, 18th season and still going strong. It totally takes the formulaic standard comedy sitcom formula and just flips it on its head and makes us hate all the characters, and yet somehow we also love them, and just the dynamic between everybody, even though they're all being so mean and aggressive, you can't take your eyes off of it. And that's a testament to the writing of, which is also the creators and the cast, and just their dynamic with one another.
If I could say one thing, I think it says a lot that I Love Lucy is actually a more diverse show.
Because it
has had no episodes pulled for blackface. I just want to say,
That's because blackface was legal back then.
No, I looked it up. There were none.
So this one is actually a fairly even fight to me. I think both of these are really, really great shows.
But what about
obviously,
arguments, Ryan?
I'm giving my feelings. Can I have 45 seconds?
Yeah, as long as you time yourself.
I am. I'm using my mental timer. You spoke for 19 minutes on Tim Robinson's failing acting.
Not failing acting, his unknown and his.
Oh, sorry. Your argument was failed about his acting. I got that backwards.
Harsh.
Both of these, I think, are brilliant and will have lasting legacies that are going to be a big deal for years to come. Yeah, obviously, I Love Lucy's been around for a lot longer, Will. I hear you.
It already has a lasting legacy, yeah.
And I understand that we are in the midst of what is going on with It's Always Sunny. However, it has already broken lots and lots of records for how long it's been going. I think It's Always Sunny has some of the most amazing recurring bits out of any comedy show ever. The fact that they've kept some of the same jokes going for literally almost 2 decades is stupid good. Yeah, this if I was voting on shows, this would be one that would be very tough for me to
I just want to add that that the show was like created out of almost nothing, and that these 3 at the time known names that are now pretty successful in their own right for various things somehow got this show off the ground solely based on it being such an original idea and their brilliant writing of it. And not only did they get the show off the ground with almost nothing, but they got one of the greatest actors of all time, Danny DeVito, interested in the show after 1 season to then join the show and become one of the most iconic characters of all time as Frank.
Don't forget, though, that Sweet D was originally a different actress who happened to be dating what's his name, the guy that got fat to be funny and then got skinny again?
Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, was dating Rob McElhenney. So the original Sweet D, who went through all the original writing process and pilot and everything, was then unceremoniously dumped after they broke up, and then replaced with Caitlin Olsen.
Do you want to? And then they're getting married.
Yeah, no, it's a love story built in heaven.
I'm sorry, Will. Would you want to act all day with your ex-girlfriend
for 18 seasons?
For 18 seasons.
Well, I would probably try to think ahead
and not cast her in the first place.
But bed. This is a guy thing. I'm gonna need you to.
All right. We are going to go into the voting for this one. Who defended their show better? Remember, it is not what is the better show. Did Will defend I Love Lucy better, or did Jeremy defend It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia better?
I agree with Zombies Ate My Arm, by the way. That is a tragedy that it has not been like officially recognized in that way.
That's true. It is a really great show. I'm going to get worse and worse. What are we on, 8?
Yeah, what are we on?
Jesus.
8?
Yes. We've done 16 out of 32 shows.
When we get to 16, I'm just going to be like,
I mean, I
Stan, you got to watch it.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch it, Stan. I truly believe people in the comments are voting on the show. I got to be honest.
I do too.
So many people are like, I Love Lucy wins, period. So it's like, I don't even stand a chance, no matter how terrible my argument was.
I did my best, but I've only seen like 15 or 20 episodes of I Love Lucy on like TV Land when I was a kid. It's a great show. It was funny. I remember seeing it was fun, but like I didn't have on my list. I had It's Always Sunny on my list. So vote your conscience.
You had It's Always Sunny on your list, Will?
Yeah.
So did I. It's another double list.
There were multiple crossovers, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think our lists are pretty close, actually. Like, we're going to be friends, man.
No.
No?
No.
They
they were not. Well, you can be friends, but they were not very close on the list.
Why do you have to puncture like that?
Because I'm a realist.
It's okay, Will. We can still be friends.
Wow.
After
All right.
Wait, since we're at the halfway point, can we do like a slight intermission where I can pee?
Yes, we can.
I peed in a bottle earlier.
Did you?
That's
Yeah,
what he
well-
poured the refill from.
When Ryan puts you in the
Dumber
solo,
style?
when Ryan gave you the solo screen, I was like, oh yeah,
You have perfect timing.
I peed in a bottle.
All right, go ahead, Jeremy.
All right.
So this is not going super well.
I sacrificed for the show. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Please don't tell me you actually peed in a bottle.
Yeah, I peed in a bottle.
Oh man, I've done multiple 5-hour shows on this already, and I've still.
Unlike math nerd Jesus, I turned wine into water.
I hope he's wearing headphones and heard that. Math nerd Jesus.
Yeah.
That might have to be what I change his name to in the stream now.
They can tell you the square root of salvation.
Oh man. That was wonderful. I don't even know what to say. Okay, so how do you think this is going so far with your shows?
I don't know. How's the audience feel? Are they having a good time? That's all that matters. You know, like
Of
the
course.
Oscars is so boring. I want this to be fun for people.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go then.
Hipster Groucho Marx had a weak bladder. Oh, man.
So much funny stuff going on. Hey, this
has
is
been fun.
yeah. We should do this more often.
Well, just wait. Whoever wins tonight might have to do it more often.
Oh no, are you gonna have like a battle royale?
Maybe.
Hey, you know what they call a battle royale in France?
Hunger Games.
Surrender. Because they always lose wars. That was a history.
Sibner says, why not movies? The next episode that I'm already setting up is movies.
Me and Flip going against martial arts movies.
Will is already feeling that wine.
I'm going up on Flip. I'm gonna start taking protein shakes. Some Rocky shit.
I'm actually very excited for the next episode, and we'll have to talk about it after because it's going to be a wild one.
God damn, I don't think he's peeing, man.
Well, he is at his work office, to be fair. He literally just stayed at work because he got off work right as the stream started.
I'm at work.
You live at work.
I peed in a bottle.
This is true.
I sacrificed for
Not only am I still at work, but the bathroom's on the other side of the office.
Dang. That stinks.
I'm making shitty reality television here, Will. Get me a break.
All right.
As I was walking away, I heard Ryan say, "This is not going well." But didn't you want it to go badly, Ryan? In a
On
sense?
certain rounds, yes. We are going to get
Not overall, like it is.
change his name to Jeremy Long P.
I was holding it for a while.
I already did change his one of his names, so
You can change that? Wow. I didn't know you could change that.
Oh man. All right, we are starting on the second half of the bracket, and this one we are going to we're going to do this one just off the cuff, just normal. We're going to go with 45 seconds again. Jeremy, you're up first. You're going to be defending 30 Rock, and Will, you're defending the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Jeremy, time starts now.
Oof. Oh my goodness. 30 Rock. Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to begin with 30 Rock. It had a great cast of characters, all fresh from SNL. and no blackface that I remember.
Yep, they did.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Well, see, I'm all my argument's already going. Usually, you're pretty safe saying a show did not do blackface. But apparently, with all my picks, I can't catch a fucking break.
Oh man. How did you get both of those back to back? Oh man.
It's your fault.
I know, it was perfect.
Wasn't on my list.
The best part is it wasn't on Jeremy's either.
Not on my list. Now listen, I enjoyed 30 Rock, but it's been so long since I've seen
Did
it.
you?
Huh?
Did you?
No, I do. I actually have all the seasons on DVD. It's a good show. It just isn't at the top of my list, and I haven't probably seen it since it was on. And that was rough. I didn't even know what to say really to defend it.
How do you not defend it immediately with the words Tina Fey?
Well, I did say fresh from SNL writers and actors, including Tina Fey.
No, you didn't say including Tina Fey. That sounds pretty
I think there's
minimized.
some implicit.
Tina Fey is included in that list, obviously.
All right, Will. 45 seconds with Adam West. Ready? Go.
Can do. Camp. This show brought queer humor to the mainstream. It brought it to prime time. It gave us the opportunity to see actors like Vincent Price as Egghead, Cesar Romero as the Joker, Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, and on and on and on. The guest roster each week was amazing. The performance by Adam West is iconic. Absolutely iconic. The kind of thing that William Shatner had to have studied. Adam West brings a standard to camp seriousness that has never been exceeded. He is the king of playing it straight.
It's the kind of show where you have to paint a mustache, and that's where we're at.
Absolutely.
I'd like to say that Paul is correct, and Stan is also correct. And also, goodbye, Sardis. Good riddance.
Jeremy is not happy with Sardis tonight.
I mean, Julie Newmar, yeah. I mean,
here is a good question that we can debate before we do our vote. Is Batman strictly a comedy? Because
I don't know, because
a guy dresses up Bat and has a little dude with green underwear running around with him fighting crime. That shit's fun.
Technically, you could argue that with a few of tonight's, like something like Community or It's Always Sunny are 100% strictly comedies. Is something like Freaks and Geeks strictly a comedy? I don't know. There's a lot of drama in it.
Well, all sitcoms have very special episodes. So, I mean, you can have serious stuff in a comedy. I challenge anyone in the audience to name something non-comedic in Batman.
I still consider it a comedy, though.
And I didn't even get a chance to talk about how great Burt Ward was in that role. Talk about two roles for actors who are born.
All right, I just muted Will. He doesn't realize it. He had his 45 seconds. I unmuted him and he wasn't making sound. That was perfect. I loved that. Okay. So
Burt Ward once came into the Red Robin I worked at in Hershey, and I was his server.
That's interesting.
Didn't
Burt pretty famously keep living in LA for decades and decades?
Right. He was there for some kind of convention of some sort.
He literally came into a Red Robin.
Yeah, he had. Well, it was one of the only places to eat in the small town that I was from.
Still, that must have felt some kind of way. Did you offer him a Bat Robin burger?
I offered him a hug. Poor soul.
Okay. Did Jeremy or Will defend their shows better? Jeremy defended 30 Rock. Will defended Batman.
I didn't actually defend 30 Rock.
This is true.
Frank Gorshin was so fucking good in that show.
Please vote in the chat.
I'm going to fall asleep to Batman tonight.
Also, I kind of want to throw out there, Batman the movie, very underrated.
Oh my gosh.
Extremely underrated.
So good. We'll leave inconspicuously through the window.
DC is right. DC is right. Points just for that.
Hey, I defended the Cosby Show though.
That's true.
That's a different kind of blackface.
I'm not sure if I should laugh.
That's like the tagline to tonight.
I'm not sure if I should laugh.
Yep. Jeremy,
Time for the Cosby Show. Did you smell this napkin?
Jeremy, we're gonna do the same thing to Will that we've done to you a few times. So Will,
Blackface show.
You're gonna give me Amos and Auntie?
wow.
Defend Tropic Thunder. Go.
Anyways, we are going to go into
Soul Man.
No sweat, Stan.
this one's going to be interesting because they are not very similar at all. Jeremy, you're going to go second on this one. Will's going first. Will, you're defending Spaced. 45 seconds.
Oh, hold on. Before you start the clock, I need you to tell me what that is.
It's a great show.
Can I Google it?
It's the Edgar Wright show with Simon Pegg.
It's basically the Cornetto trilogy prior to the Cornetto trilogy. It's Simon Pegg.
You're saying words that could be, I don't know what language you're talking. Cornholio? What? Cornetto?
Cornetto trilogy is what's known as Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Those three movies. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're called Cornetto.
It's called the Cornetto trilogy.
Cornetto trilogy.
It's called, well, technically it's called the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah.
Huh.
In the UK, they have a type of ice cream called Cornetto, and it comes in 3 different flavors. And when Edgar Wright went out to make these 3 films with both Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, that's his name. He saw it as basically 3 different flavors with the same actors, so he called it the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy.
So is this like a Red Dwarf type of show, or?
No,
it's not. I mean, it's a similar style of humor, I'd say, as Red Dwarf, but not the same in premise or anything.
I almost feel like you should have tried to just defend this with the word spaced, and we should have just not told you anything.
I looked it up, but like the only word I could see real quickly was squat. So I'll start with that.
I do want to throw out that many in the comments are very happy. I will also say, in my defense, this was my choice. I love this show.
DC's talking about Will, right? Not me.
I mean, I saw those movies. I just didn't know that they were a trilogy of ice cream.
They are.
You didn't know that Spaced came before that and was kind of the establishing factor for those films. With that.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
And this is all right. This is the guy. This is the guy that has to watch Point Break and Bad Boys.
Yes.
Okay.
And Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, he has to watch them. He's the watcher. He's not the fan.
Okay. Jeremy, why don't you tell us about Futurama?
No, wait. When's my clock going to start?
Oh, it started a long time ago. You want 45 seconds? I'll give you 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to defend Spaced. Oh, my God. Edgar Wright? Are you kidding me? This guy loves ice cream. And you know what else? You know what he hates? Squatters. And the best way to preserve ice cream and prevent squatting is to go to space. And in doing so, Edgar Wright brings a stable of cutting edge English comedians to engage in wordplay and the occasional bodily humor situations, but in space, and so that makes it even because of the gravity. You know what I mean? That shit's funny.
I want to say 2 things. One, Will defended that rather well for knowing nothing about it. Actually, yep. I'm very impressed. Number 2, they are not in space.
Not at all. But
space.
I'm glad that my gamble paid off here, and I put Spaced against Futurama, hoping that Will had never seen Spaced and would think that it was in space. So I think I win.
You got me.
All right, Jeremy, give us why Futurama is brilliant in 45 seconds.
I could do it in 10. One sentence. The Simpsons walked so that Futurama could run. The show that Matt Groening created after The Simpsons is literally taking everything you love about The Simpsons and amping it up to 12. It's the jokes are funnier, the writing is smarter. There's some really fucking dark, not dark, but moments that are like almost so heartfelt that you cry, which is surprising. I think it's one of the, if not the greatest adult cartoon shows of all time out of that particular genre.
Well, let's see what the voting's like. In the comments, did Will defend space better than Jeremy defended Futurama? Give us the name Will or Jeremy.
Remember, you're not voting on accuracy. Let's be clear.
And also remember, you're not voting on what kind of degree we have.
Ooh.
Oh man, I'm a public school. It doesn't even hardly counts.
Somehow Will has 2 votes.
Like my parents aren't proud or anything.
Travis just really doesn't like me. I know DC likes me. Travis must not like me.
Paul, thank you, Paul. Paul is standing for the integrity of the show. Voted Jeremy, though Spaced is the better show. All right, so 1, 2, 3 for Jeremy, 2 for Will, 3 for each, 4 for Jeremy. All right. It looks like Jeremy just barely got it.
I think Stan was the decider. Thanks, Stan.
Thanks, Dan.
That was pretty damn close, surprisingly.
Yeah, when Will doesn't know a show, he still gets much closer to than I do when I don't know a show.
So this is going to piss some people off, because when we had the sketch show earlier and Jeremy was so upset, I really wanted to have it not be in that and then be up against one of these shows. But this was the perfect 2 sets to put up against each other, because I think that one of them is going to have a longer lasting legacy than I think you should leave. So, Jeremy, you're up first. You're going to defend Nathan For You, and Will, you get to defend Saturday Night Live. And this one, you're going to have 1 full minute. And I want to hear not only why you are defending the show, but why specifically it's better than the other show as part of your argument. Your time starts now, Jeremy.
Nathan For You is really one of a kind, I would say. It takes I thank you, Travis. I'm using up my time to thank you. A very, I think, not very well known at the time, Nathan Fielder, comedian and sketch comedy actor, and the premise of the show, for those who don't know it, is in the most completely serious way possible. He goes to different businesses or different people and tries to help them with a problem, and his way of helping them is the most ridiculous possible thing you could ever think of in the most roundabout way. It's better than Saturday Night Live because it hasn't overstayed its welcome, and it's honestly, it's just, I think I said it in one sentence. It's one of a kind. I don't think there's another show like Nathan For You, period.
Before Will goes, I haven't watched, have you, either of you watched the rehearsal yet? I haven't seen anything from it. Is it decent?
I have. Yeah. It's very different from Nathan's and from For You, but the same kind of humor. So.
We all right, Will? Okay. 1 minute starts now. Go.
Forgive me, but I thought the whole premise of Nathan For You was that he overstayed his welcome instantly. I thought that was like the whole pitch.
He does, not the show.
Okay, well, so the thing about Saturday Night Live, or as the kids these days say, SNL, is that its longevity ensures us that a lot of it sucks. In fact, you can say most. But its longevity also assures us that some of the greatest comedy moments in history have happened. And let me just sum up those comedy moments in 2 words: Norm Macdonald. In addition to that, the few things that Adam Sandler has done that are funny also occurred on Saturday Night Live. And that's to be appreciated. The cast, the hosts, the music, Saturday Night Live, iconic. You can't top it. Sorry.
Let me quickly have a cliff note from my earlier comment. I'm not saying Saturday Night Live was never good. There's a lot of Saturday Night Live that I love, including and especially Norm Macdonald, Mr. Dodson. But I just think. Now what?
He's a doctor.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm trying to diminish your achievement as a form of attack.
As I said before, my dad is Mr.
Dodson. I actually do also agree with Travis. In a lot of ways, I think the rehearsal is better than Nathan for You. Crazily enough.
So I think that supports my argument then.
Even though it's drastically different. No, it just means Nathan Fielder is better than current Saturday Night Live. I will say, and this is going to well, I'm not going to say it. Let the people vote first.
I will say the final episode of Nathan For You is one of the best episodes of TV of all time.
It absolutely is. And I will also just say that my favorite episode of Nathan For You is the one with the Best Buy TVs and the price match.
Alligator.
That's my point when I said one of a kind. If you watch, just take that episode in particular, and you will never see anything else like that on TV.
Yeah, but what about that one time when Jim Carrey played the lifeguard at a kiddie pool?
You're thinking of In Living Color.
No, I'm thinking of SNL. Shall I post a link in the chat?
Before we vote, one question to defend or for or against your choice. The common argument with Saturday Night Live is that everybody thinks that every era of Saturday Night Live sucks, except for when they were in high school.
So hang on a second real quick. Exactly what Stan just said is what I was going to say. And then I second guessed myself and I said, I'll wait to say it. But since he said it, I'm going to say it now, even if it makes me lose. It's very hard, despite how much I love Nathan For You. And even though I love certain parts of Saturday Night Live, I haven't really liked it for the last several years. It is very hard to pin up against how long of a standing that a show like Saturday Night Live has had, and how many.
Listen, I'm doing my best. 32 shows are really hard to pair together properly.
So iconic.
I'm not saying it's your fault, and if anything, it makes it more challenging. I'm just saying I agree with Stan, and that was the point I was going to make. Is it's a very difficult comparison to make an argument against when Saturday Night Live has been going on for so long, and so many iconic performers have come out of it.
True, and they also corner the market on cringe humor, like that time that John Frusciante fucked up the chorus of Under the Bridge, and made Anthony mad. There was the time that Will Ferrell shouted the N-word like 8 times.
True.
As Robert Goulet.
Robert Goulet.
There was the time that everybody was on coke for like 5 years.
Okay, so in my defense, one of the things that I was getting at with my question that we just skirted past is basically what Justin just said. Nathan For You is gold for 3 straight seasons. SNL is less than one good skit per episode, according to some people. But that's my question, is a lot of people, they view SNL as only being good for 3 to 5 years. Nathan For You is a perfect 3 years.
Yeah.
So
and it went in and went out. Nobody gets hurt.
Well, I mean, let's see how history views it. I mean, the thing about Saturday Night Live is you have 40 years, And you can go through every season, even the Robert Downey Jr., Anthony Michael Hall season, where everybody had 3 fucking names. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on that season. Even the 3-name season, you can find a classic sketch pretty much every episode. And for the record, I was in college when Norm was on. And also, I want to.
I was in elementary school.
I want to shout out to Zombies Ate My Arm and just say the words Phil Hartman because.
Yeah, God bless Phil Hartman.
Yeah, that should have been my argument.
Yeah,
Phil Hartman, Norm Macdonald, 4 words, it's over.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The moment you said Norm Macdonald, Jeremy got rattled.
I tell you. Man, I had it in my first list. I had A Minute with Stan Hooper, which didn't even actually air.
Yeah, I love A Minute with Stan Hooper.
Isn't that fucking great? Greatest season finale ever.
Yeah. It's so sad that never actually aired. Will probably knows, but Norm Macdonald is my reason for being a comedian. So I almost can't even argue against Saturday Night Live because of that.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I tell you what, man. The first time I saw him, and he told that joke about chopping up his family and putting them in a plastic bag, I was like, "This is my kind of comedy."
Yeah.
All right, before anybody gets their,
he got fired.
Before anyone else gets their feelings hurt, let's go through and vote. Did Jeremy defend Nathan For You better, or did Will defend Saturday Night Live better?
Oh yeah, when Frank Zappa hosted, that was the best. Holy shit, he was so just like, oh, I don't give a shit. Zappa was the best.
Remember, 3 perfect seasons compared to 40 mediocre seasons.
Don't forget, even mediocre seasons gave us things like Cork Soakers.
Right? And are we almost up to 50 seasons?
Yeah, I think we are.
Because 40 was like 2015.
Now they're just casting YouTubers and stuff. It's getting wild.
I mean, that's the new face of comedy, to be honest.
Yeah. But hey, you got a shot, Jeremy.
I'm not a YouTuber.
Holy shit.
That was a dark blow.
Oh man, I'm kidding.
I'm out of here.
I'm just saying this is a platform where you have an opportunity to shine.
We are currently tied 3-3. I need at least one more vote.
Oh, come on, people. Are we?
Yep, there's 4-3. Chester gave it to Will. And he says, even though he brought up Adam Sandler.
I'm just reporting the news, man. I'm just reporting the news.
Quick, somebody retie it.
The sad thing is, but while I'm going to mark the winner, it'll probably happen. Oh, that was a good one. All right, so this one,
the closest one yet.
That was very close. This next one, I think, is much more even. Jeremy, you're going to go first to defend Police Squad, while Will defends Veep.
I fucking love Police Squad.
And Jeremy wins. All right, good job.
Yeah.
All right.
That should be taken into account. Thank you.
You've got 45 seconds, and your time starts now.
Listen, anybody who likes any kind of the very specific over-the-top absurdist humor that was birthed, it was all birthed from Police Squad. It's obviously where Naked Gun came from. Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad. But really anything Zucker Brothers, Top Secret, Airplane, if you're a fan of any of those movies or that style of humor, it originated in Police Squad. 2 words, Leslie Nielsen, rest in peace. One of the ultimate kings of comedy. At the time there was nothing like Police Squad. It was in that era of shows that we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, and I'm out of time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will, hit us with some Veep.
Well, don't forget the Zucker brothers also brought us an American Carol, the neoconservative. Look, all I got to say about Veep, Armando Iannucci, or however you say it. I mean, when Dan Bacchanal says to his rep aide, "Shut up, you fat girl," It just sums up the mean, concise, and precise satire of representative democracies, republics, American politics. The show is impeccably cast, impeccably written. Everybody is a highlight.
This one is tough. These
Joe Dante directed several episodes of Police Squad. That shit's good.
Great Joe Dante.
I'll be happy with a tie.
How can you vote against the show? How can you vote against a show where Leslie Nielsen says, cigarette? And the response is, I know.
Don't forget Anna Chlumsky made a comeback. Anna Chlumsky.
She did make a comeback on that.
The girl who killed Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, man. We are going to go to a quick vote on this one. So those that thought Jeremy defended Police Squad better, please say Jeremy in the chat. Those that thought Will defended Veep better, please say Will in the chat.
You, DC. According to DC, Will brought up Julie Louis-Dreyfus in the wrong show because he brought her up in Saturday Night Live in that lost season.
I didn't think I needed to bring up Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Besides, I wanted to highlight the ancillary characters. So she was the lead. She's a trust fund baby. You know,
she's the Emmy winner.
Yeah, well.
Oh, Anna Chlumsky never left DC's heart.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight. I wanted to give platform to the marginalized characters.
She's your girl.
I remember seeing My Girl in the theaters when I was a kid, and like when I found out that the movie was about a kid hanging out in a funeral home, and then Macaulay Culkin gets killed and stuff, I got pretty upset. I was PG meant something different back then.
That's true. It was drastically different.
All right, Police Squad and Jeremy has won this one.
I accept it.
Another. The common theme with my shows are they're all short-lived.
Police Squad was on my list and Veep was not.
Yeah, Police Squad was on my list too. It only lasted 6 fucking episodes. So devastating.
This next one is another one that they are very similar, but this is going to be an impassioned speech from both people. So we are going to talk about not the ancillary characters. There is one person in each of these shows that you're going to highlight because their name is in the title of the shows.
All right. Oh,
you know who to defend.
Louie, aren't you?
Was this on my list?
Yes.
Damn it.
Except it's the character's name, but you know who we're talking about. I'm confusing Jeremy like crazy. You'll know in just a second.
In the name of the show?
Yes.
On my list?
He's giving you like the Valerie Harper show. Yeah. Okay. Is it?
Oh, I did this to you, didn't I? Okay.
Yes. So, Will, you are up first. You got 45 seconds to defend specifically about the Late Show with David Letterman himself.
Well,
Ready? Go.
I thought he handled his sex scandal well.
Great use of your 45 seconds.
and that's something to be taken into account. Look, the Late Show, and this is the Late Show. This is not late night. This is the NBC show. This is not Late Night with David Letterman on CBS, which is actually when the sex scandal occurred. Late Show with David Letterman innovated the format and the art of late night television. The skits, the comedic bits, the non sequiturs, the top 10 list, the rapport with guests. All of this was different then and edgier than any show before and possibly since.
Jeremy, Larry Sanders Show. Give us the love for Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling is a comedy innovator. Between the Gary Shandling Show, also a name in the title, and the Larry Sanders Show, he did twice back to back. He took formulaic a formulaic style of a comedy show and flipped it on its head. Obviously, Larry Sanders Show, he's parodying and mocking everything that Will just defended with The Late Show with David Letterman, but in good jest and in good company with several great comedic actors playing themselves, including David Letterman.
Well said for both of you. I think this is one of the better defended one from both of you.
Gary Shandling, rip. Judd Apatow made a documentary about him. That's how good he is.
That, for many people, that would be an argument against.
Yeah, Judd Apatow makes 3-hour movies with Adam Sandler. He's like the Paul Thomas Anderson of comedy.
Hey, Funny People is good.
Funny People is really underrated.
I don't give a shit about rich people, man.
My friend, I'll tell you a quick story since we brought up David Letterman, and I don't think my dear friend Frank Cottola would mind me sharing this, and he'll probably never see it. But Frank once told me, "Oh, great, make me big." He once told me,
thanks.
I will take this opportunity to say I made a documentary all about my dear friend Frank Cottola called Tenacity and Gratitude, the Frank Cottola story. Available all places DVDs are sold. Not released on 4K. And it's all about Frank's journey in Hollywood, who he was a writer for a lot of famous comedians. He was a joke writer for a long time before kind of landing in his longtime role as the head writer for the great Wolfman Jack for the majority of Wolfman's career, and was even his on-air radio partner for several years, going under the pseudonym Mars Cotolo. But before joining forces with Wolfman Jack, he was a joke writer and told me a story. I don't believe it's actually on the documentary, though, about how his two ways of making money back in those days in the late 70s in Hollywood was either going to the Comedy Store and selling jokes or going to the horse track and betting on the horses. And one Saturday night, he decided to go to the horse track, which of course, I think we would all know is an odd choice, he specified, because Saturday is a big night for comedy and one of the best nights that he would sell the most jokes, I assume. But he was feeling lucky and decided to go to the horse track. And that feeling paid off because he won big that night. And all the comedians at the Comedy Store would end up going to this one Ralph's on Sunset Boulevard, Rock and Roll Ralph's. Ryan might remember because he used to live out here. And they would always end up there, and everybody would run into each other because they would all be there at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. after the Comedy Store closed, and everybody was done smoking weed and shooting the shit. And so even though Frank did not go to the Comedy Store and sell jokes this this particular night, he still ended up at the Ralph's getting his weekly groceries. And because he hit it big, so all the comedians from the Comedy Store would all bump into each other in the generics aisle because they were all making absolutely nothing and had no money to afford groceries. And Frank hit it big that night, and he saw Dave Letterman in the generics aisle, and he said, "Hey, Dave, look, Del Monte corn. Hey, Dave, look, Kellogg's cereal." And Dave said, "Fuck you, Frank." And that's my David Letterman story. Not my David Letterman story, but
we just took that journey to get to Del Monte corn.
Yeah.
The payoff was okay.
I enjoyed it. Okay, so we are voting now. Did Jeremy defend the Larry Sanders Show better, or did Will defend the Late Show with David Letterman better?
I screwed myself with that story.
Please don't judge based on the merits of the story.
Yeah, please. Judge.
Fucking Jeremy's working on the David Letterman beard at this point. He's like halfway there. He's like, my next guest needs an extremely long introduction.
That's good. That's a good one, Will.
I love how Will gets better at comedy the more he drinks.
Oh, man. Oh, you should ask my exes.
People are going to vote because they didn't like my story I just shared. So they're going to vote for Will. God damn it.
I don't have any Gary Shandling stories.
Wave said, "I just got here in that last story. I don't know." All right, we got
Here on out.
Jeremy is currently winning.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, so it looks like Larry Sanders is going to take this one. Good
I
job,
gotta
Will.
say, I originally was going to go with Conan O'Brien because that was my generation, and I was going to do an impassioned exposition on the masturbating bear. But then I was like, you know what? I want to be tasteful.
Oh, look, Chester says me, but he prefers Letterman. Thanks for voting for me.
All right, so these next two, I apologize in advance. There was no great way to set these up. It feels like they are bound to go to very specific shows. So I'll apologize in advance. We're going to make these 30 seconds. Jeremy, you're up first to defend Parks and Rec, and Will is going to be defending Archer. Jeremy, you're up first, and your time starts now.
I gotta be honest, I only put this on my list because my friend Jim O'Hare is in it as Larry, Jerry, Gary, Gergich. And in case he watched this, I would feel bad if it wasn't on my best comedy list. It is a great show. It's obviously, I would say, in my opinion, well, oh my God, I'm running out of time already. Obviously, The Office had a UK version of The Office where it originated, but with Parks and Rec and The Office being very similar shows, I would say The Office walked where Parks and Rec could run, to use a similar argument I did earlier in the show.
All right, Will, Archer, ready, go.
Well, let's talk about the consistency of writing. It gets better and better with every season.
Phrasing.
The cast is incredible, from H. John Benjamin to the late Jessica Walter. Let's not forget that J.G. Thirlwell is the composer of the music from season 7 to now. And it's about an alcoholic a libertine who is the greatest spy in the world. That shit is funny.
We're at the point of the show where Will's argument is that shit is funny.
But, you know, very compelling argument, I gotta say.
It's true. It's true.
I was not on IMDb.
Coming from the doctor. Oh, was that one that wasn't on your list?
No, Archer's on my list. Okay. I knew that shit.
Then why'd you need IMDb?
I wasn't. DC Ibner accused me of being on IMDb. I was actually...
Sam Newman joins an hour later and immediately votes against me.
I was actually looking up... I was looking up some Parks and Rec stuff because I was going to try to make a British version of Parks and Rec joke, but I couldn't get it together.
Oh, I appreciate the effort.
Well, you know.
All right. We're going to try to blaze through the last parts of these. Who is going to vote for Will defending for Archer, and who is going to vote for Jeremy for defending Parks and Rec? Please let us know in the comments.
Parks and Rec, that shit is funny.
Well, dang. Now these are very even arguments.
I think they got the problematic Chris, though.
Stan says getting better and better is the opposite of consistency.
I'm to paraphrase Emerson.
I somehow got votes on that one.
Yeah.
To paraphrase Emerson,
Sam Newman, it's not about the show. It's about who had a better argument.
To be fair, he didn't vote for Will.
Parks and Rec is too sentimental for me.
Stan did.
It's funny, but you know.
Get the hell out of here, Stan.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Parks and Rec is too sentimental? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you know, it's all about like help.
Here's what I should have said. Oh my God, I missed such a great opportunity. I should have said Parks and Rec is literally one of the funniest shows of all time.
I would have voted for you for that one.
God damn it.
Too late.
I'm going to feel bad now because I wanted to make sure that this show got some love, but I think Will is easily going to win this next one. Sorry, Jerry. You were supposed to win that one with Parks and Rec, and it didn't pan out.
I defended it as best I could in 30 seconds.
Aubrey Plaza, most famous person from Rhode Island, Delaware, wherever, whatever. Too many places.
Aubrey Plaza makes any show.
Delaware.
Anything she's a part of.
Delaware.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Delaware, no sales tax.
What
Will,
was that movie she was in with Zac Efron?
Ryan hates us.
She was in a Zac Efron movie, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, Dirty Grandpa.
No, Zac Efron.
Dirty Grandpa.
isn't
No,
that Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates or something?
Yeah, that one. She was
It
in two
wasn't
Zac Efron movies?
Hold on, wasn't Dirty Grandpa Zac Efron and Robert De Niro?
I think it's so funny that you keep saying
What
Dirty
was
Grandpa.
Aubrey Plaza in it?
I'm pretty sure Aubrey Plaza was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, she like had sex with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
But I didn't know
think
Zac
saw Dirty
Efron. I didn't
Grandpa.
know Zac Efron was
Hey,
in.
remember in Wayne's World where they're like, imagine being magically whisked away to the wonderful world of Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
So she was in 2 movies with Zac Efron?
Why is this amazing? Okay. We are carrying on. Again, I apologize in advance, Jeremy. Will, you're going to defend Seinfeld. Jeremy, you're defending Happy Endings.
Okay.
Will, you are up first. You got 45 seconds, and your time starts now.
What is the deal with the sitcom format? I mean, we know what they're supposed to do, but we don't often know how to do it well. And the thing about
like impressions.
Seinfeld is that it knew how to get the cast together. It knew how to write scripts about nothing that amounted to something, and it knew how to hold the reservation.
Is that it? Are you?
Oh, I got more time. And it gave a generation of unhappily married people a way out.
All right, Jeremy. Surprisingly, I think you have a chance
what?
on this one.
Well, no blackface and happy endings. So that's a nice change from the rest of this episode of shows I have to defend. Listen, I bet you 90% of the people in the chat have not seen. Yep, there you go, Stan. 90% of the people have not seen happy endings. This was on my list, so I set myself up for disaster, despite Ryan being the one that paired it with Seinfeld. It's like a better version of Friends. It's like if Friends was like extra weird and didn't hold back on its jokes. It's got a great cast that play perfectly off of one another. I don't know how it's supposed to compete with Seinfeld.
It's not. The defense is.
I don't know. It's another short-lived show. All my shows are short-lived shows that sadly only lasted 3 seasons.
For anybody that has not seen Happy Endings, it is Friends with adult jokes and absurd humor.
I just want, like, I'm not trying to sway the vote, but according to Google, there was a racist parrot.
Yeah, but the racist parrot didn't spray paint his face black.
Well, it didn't.
Or get up on stage like Michael Richards did.
Yeah, DC said Elijah Cuthbert versus the girl next door. The girl next door versus the comedian who shouted.
Wow. Yeah, I prefer Curb personally, but I stand by the getting out of a bad marriage technique.
Now, what Ryan said about happy endings is true, and I just want to say that almost everything on my list was really to highlight some very underrated shows, in my opinion. Stuff like Happy Endings, I Think You Should Leave, Police Squad. So if nothing else comes out of this, and if I don't win, which I don't think I'm gonna, please check out all the shows that I'm not defending very well. Everybody, thank you very much.
Hey, don't let that patriarchal thinking infect your DNA, man. This isn't about competition. This is about celebration.
Okay, we're voting for the defense in that round. Did Will defend Seinfeld better, or did Jeremy defend Happy Endings better? Which one gets your vote? Put their name in the chat, and we will see which one moves on to the next round. The next round will be much, much quicker, and then after this, we'll only have a few things left, I promise.
I thought Seinfeld had a happy ending in terms of society.
What number are we on?
I don't think Just a minute.
Are you trying to leave?
No, I can't see it because I'm currently selecting the winner
No.
of that last one.
Is Jeremy trying to leave?
Oh,
No. I was just curious how many more we had left. I'll stay and talk to you all night long, Dr. Dodson.
Oh my God, this is so fun. This is for the audience. This is our first time meeting, and I've been wanting this forever, but I've been afraid to ask Ryan because it's like it's his show, you know, and I don't want to like impose.
I knew it was going to happen sooner or later because.
Oh man, I've wanted to meet you like from the very beginning.
Oh, I'm very flattered. That made my whole night.
I mean it too. I'm not even bullshitting.
We are on the 16th one.
Give him
right
the
now.
win. Give him the win. After those kind words.
Oh man. Sometimes people think I'm kidding when I'm serious and think I'm serious when I'm kidding. I think it's my accent.
Probably true. We are on our last one. And this, well, the last one of the first round.
Which Burger King bathroom is Jeremy in? Said somebody. This is my. I'm in an
That's
office.
really funny.
I'm in an office because I'm an adult.
Hey, you know what? I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
I mean, that sounds way better than being in an office.
Did you have it your way?
I did the Humpty dance.
All right.
All right, early 90s hip hop is not getting anywhere. Okay.
What's her name? Wendy?
No,
Did
man.
she have sesame seed buns? Anyways.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Is this me?
We are going to go to the last one.
You guys are all emo punk. I was in the Oakland hip hop in the early 90s. You don't know the Humpty dance?
I know the Humpty.
I know what it is. Yeah, the reference is a lot dated.
Humpty dance.
There's no dating. You can get busy in a Burger King bathroom at any time. They're designed for that.
For the record, I'm clipping that part of this show and spreading it far and wide.
Feel free.
Weird Al did a version of the Humpty dance in one of his polka medleys, it's just like a slow jazz version of the Humpty dance.
I remember that one.
Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump.
Was that
all right?
Was that off of Polka Time or Dare to Be Stupid?
I think it was the Dare to Be Stupid album.
So here we go.
Last
of
oh
the
my
first
god!
round.
How am I supposed to compete with Faulty Towers?
Jeremy
I don't
is
even like
defending
that show. That guy's
Arrested
racist.
Development, and Will is defending Faulty Towers. Jeremy, you're up first. You got 45 seconds for Arrested Development. Go.
Listen, it launched the careers of Paul Rudd and not blackface, but blueface. Listen, I think in this particular instance, all I have to say is David Cross. You know, Tobias Funke made this show. But I don't know. I feel like a repetitive asshole because I just keep saying like, what a great cast. You know, what a great cast of characters. But really, that's what I'm drawn to. That's like the common thread between everything on my list is it's like really perfect, like pitch perfect casting that have such a great dynamic with one another. And Will mentioned Jessica Walters in his Archer argument, so I'm going to say Jessica Walters again. Mike.
If I'd had the chance, I would have mentioned Portia de Rossi in my Ally McBeal defense, but I didn't get to talk about how great Ally McBeal is.
Yeah.
All right, Will, you're up.
Well, if you love racist caricatures, then Faulty Towers is the show for you. It's racist without being like racist in the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like you can get away with it because it's about like Spaniards. So I'm just gonna say go with Arrested Development the first like couple seasons. Don't vote for me. Fuck Faulty Towers.
I want to point out this started with Jeremy saying, "How can I compete with Faulty Towers?"
That was hilarious.
Yeah, well, okay.
Okay, so Will is giving up on this one.
No, I feel like I gave an accurate defense of Faulty Towers.
So now,
and if I really like Faulty Towers. I mean, I'm not saying Will's wrong, but I love that show.
If you want to vote for Faulty Towers, tell us what kind of person you are.
Jesus.
That's right, DC. I'm Blackadder all the way. That's the fucking show right there.
Oh, Blackadder, I love too. Anything with Rowan Atkinson, give me that.
Oh, Thin Blue Line. That show is fucking amazing.
Thin Blue Line.
Yeah.
What's that other one?
Freaking where he's the detective.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to think of.
The drama one where he's all serious and shit, but you're like expecting him to do some Mr. Bean stuff any moment.
You're like, wait a minute, Rowan Atkinson can talk?
Wave, we are voting for who defended the show better, and Will just gave up on Faulty Towers.
Listen, I got to tell you this. I'm going to give some context. I saw Faulty Towers for the first time when I was in high school. A friend of mine showed it to me, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. And my friend was like, oh, don't say that so loud. My dad loves Faulty Towers. And I said, well, your dad fucking sucks. And we quit being friends. And he went on to be a law clerk for Antonin Scalia. So you tell me it was right.
I was really hoping you were going to say, and turns out his dad was John Cleese.
No, his dad's dead. But
his dad was Michael Palin.
No, he's dead. But it is true. The guy went on to clerk for Antonin Scalia, and there you go. We are on the different sides of Faulty Towers. I'm on the anti-Scalia side.
Look at DC's comment. I don't know why I'm getting attacked so much tonight.
DC's just funny. Okay, so amazingly enough, if you look at the entire bracket, it is a perfectly balanced bracket. Will and Jeremy both have the exact same number of entries in the second round. Wow. So we are now going to change it up for the second round. I'm going to make this full screen. We are going to have a very quick lightning round. Each of you can grab hold of one of these two shows one at a time, and you're going to have 10 seconds.
We pick what we pick?
I'm going to ask you, do you want to go with Looney Tunes or How I Met Your Mother first?
How I Met Your Mother.
Will, I'm assuming you're happy with Looney Tunes?
Whatever you want me to do.
Okay. Jeremy, you're going to defend How I Met Your Mother for 10 seconds. Yes. Okay. Quickly. Okay. And specifically, why is it better than Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Ready? Go.
How I Met Your Mother got a spinoff called How I Met Your Father. I don't see a show called Sane Tunes. Thank you.
What a terrible defense. Will, you get 10 seconds with Looney Tunes. Ready? Go.
Looney Tunes got like 1,000 spinoffs if that's what we're going on. And then I'll just say, Bugs Bunny, who do you know from How I Met Your Mother?
Time. Okay. Dear God. All right. I'm gonna pick my winners in this bracket. So
oh my God. Hang on a second. Wait, you're picking?
I'm picking so that way we can go through the second round quick, and then we're gonna have every
Looney Tunes.
Because his defense was 10,000 times better than yours.
Wait, can I change my dissent? How I Met Your Mother is legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
References are not a good defense. Will, since Jeremy chose first last time, you can choose first this time. Do you want Freaks and Geeks or BoJack Horseman?
Nah, that sucked, Doc. What's the question?
Do you want Freaks and Geeks or BoJack Horseman?
Freaks and Geeks.
Jeremy, BoJack Horseman is yours. Will, you're going to go first. 10 seconds on Freaks and Geeks. Go.
Oh, so relatable. Like we all lived it. We all lived it. That shit's hilarious. Monty Python, D&D.
Okay.
First Dates,
Jeremy, 10 seconds on BoJack Horseman. Ready? Go.
Oh, that shit is funny. Talking Animals, Will Arnett, Margot Martindale.
Shit, I don't know who is better there.
What is Margot Martindale? I don't know that.
You know, she just blew up some guy's face in Cocaine Bear.
Oh.
She was also a villain in a season of Justified.
She's so great. I love her. One of the most underrated character actors out there.
Is that Kentucky Cop show?
Yes.
Yeah, with good old what's his face, Timothy Oliphant.
Oh man, I want to see that. That
What are you doing, Ryan? Ryan's like, Will.
No, man, that oily fan guy, freaking Deadwood. Oh, that's a good show.
Okay, we are starting to lose it. The next one.
You're losing it because you're purposely voting for not my argument.
Not at all, Jeremy. I'm assuming you're wanting Community over the Jeffersons.
I do, yeah.
Will, you got the Jeffersons. Jeremy, you are going first on this one. 10 seconds. Go.
Well, I'm gonna try not to Britta it. Even listen, there.
Time. Oh my gosh! Oh, that was amazing. Will.
You make the bracket whole screen again so I can hide my embarrassment.
Will, you got the Jeffersons. 10 seconds. Go.
Oh well, we're moving on up to the semifinals. Sherman, Helmsley, Isabel Sanford, Marla Gibbs.
Again, references are not a good argument.
No, they're just the names of the actors.
Our arguments have come down. What are you doing, Ryan? Don't you? That was my argument.
You should have just said
75% of your time doing nothing.
He just named actors on the show,
which was somehow more than you did.
I also made a joke
about a direct quote from the show, and then gave an example of it by doing.
It was a little too like Nathan for you.
Okay. Obviously, in the next one, Will wants The Simpsons, and Jeremy wants It's Always Sunny. Will, you're going first. 10 seconds with The Simpsons. Go.
I don't have a cow, man. This is the most iconic animated show of all time. Undisputed. It is the best use of maximum
drive. 10 seconds with It's Always Sunny. Go.
Unlike The Simpsons, doesn't have big names behind it when it first started. It was birthed out of the purely creative writing that it has.
Time. I'm actually going to agree with that.
Yeah, it was actually championed by a woman. So sorry about that the women didn't have big names.
Paul Huggins said exactly why you should have given that one to me, Ryan, you son of a bitch.
Wow. Going against women comedians. I see how it is for Jeremy Long in Los Angeles, California.
Hey, I don't want to get canceled over this game that I'm doing terribly at.
Wow. All right. So this one, who just went first?
I did.
Jeremy did. Okay.
Wait. I'm drunk.
You're drunk?
No, I'm joking.
No, I am.
Oh, no. Will went first for The Simpsons. So, Jeremy, you're going first this time on Futurama, and then Will, you are up on Batman. Jeremy, 10 seconds. Ready? Go.
I'm giving Futurama all my money because it's the best adult comedy show.
Time.
That was a reference to the show, Ryan.
I understood it. And I already said references are not a good argument.
What else am I supposed to say in 10 seconds?
As much as you possibly can. Will, show us why 10 seconds is enough to argue for Batman. Go.
I had an astonishingly different take. This is the first superhero show that was a comedy that it brought camp humor to mainstream audiences.
I don't know which one was better there. That's
I
a good
also made
question.
a reference.
I'm going to go with Futurama, I think. Okay, Saturday Night Live and Police Squad. Jeremy, you are first with Police Squad. But first, somebody wants to ask, what are the big names that were on The Simpsons when it first started?
Conan O'Brien.
Wasn't a big name at the time.
All those other people. Can we move on?
Hey, you know who was on The Simpsons? Dave Grohl.
He was on The Simpsons.
Will, you're going to hit us with Saturday Night Live first, and then Jeremy, you're going to go with Police Squad.
Okay.
Will, 10 seconds, go.
Let the boy be funny on TV.
Wow.
He
Jeremy.
said references don't count.
I'm
10
talking
seconds,
to the
Police
voters.
Squad.
Oh, I loved it, Will. I loved it.
Your time starts now.
Unique, fresh, and original, especially for its time. Many have tried to mimic it. None have been successful. Leslie
Time.
Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. I kind of wanted to give it Saturday Night Live, but I'm not going to.
Because I gave a better argument.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing that a cop show would get a rigged vote.
Oh, man.
How they do it in Kansas City.
Wow. Let's see. Jeremy, you're up.
Oh, James L. Brooks answered the question for me. Or CC answered.
James L. Brooks is watching. Pitch something, Jeremy.
Listen, it's
just say, hey, this is as good as it gets.
Okay, we need to move on. Jeremy, you're first with Larry Sanders Show, then Will has Archer. Larry Sanders, your time starts now.
Are you saying you don't want this to be a 5-hour stream? Larry Sanders Show flipped the entire talk show format on its head.
Will, Archer, time starts now.
Talk about flipping things. Archer flips the script of spy shows and just everything. It's so fucking
What
crazy.
is this?
And Jessica Walters is dead.
I mean,
and I thought they handled it beautifully. Vote for whoever you want. I thought it was very sensitive. You tell me how Larry Sanders handled Gary Shandling's death. Not at all. Okay. Archer was quite sensitive.
Is this show everything you imagined it would be, Ryan?
So far, it's great. I can't wait until the next episode. This one,
I'm not coming back. I'll tell you.
You may not have a choice. I
may not have a liver.
Will, you are going first with Seinfeld, and then Jeremy gets Arrested Development, and then we go back to something different. Will, go.
I think I've sabotaged my lead. What is the deal with brackets? They put things in the brackets, but you don't know where things are going.
Jeremy, 10 seconds. Arrested Development, go.
Really, it was kind of the hidden camera sitcom format prior to The Office or Parks and Recreation. So very original.
Well, thank God this round is over because that was not great.
No, the UK Office was way before Arrested Development. That's not accurate.
And I said in the US.
I feel like I've been analrapist.
Jeremy won all 4 of those.
I've been analrapisted.
Well, Dodson's getting wasted as we.
It's true.
You know what's getting wasted? My talent.
He's peeing in his wine bottle and then drinking it again.
All right.
They're separate bottles. I'm pretty sure. One's on one. Look. This is all about love for comedy, and I don't want to lose sight of that. I think people have getting caught up in the Wow, how patriarchal. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow.
It was all in the name of comedy, I promise.
Continue your perpetuation of the systemic.
Oh, man. Okay. We are now officially off. We are officially off the rails. The final 2 rounds here, which we are now down to 8, then we will get to 4. I guess that's more than 2 rounds. Then 2, then 1.
Which one's which? DC Edmund wants to know which one.
Would like to know.
Which one is which? I don't know. One's Pinot Grigio and one's Pinot Grigio.
Okay, what we're gonna do?
I hope you're proud of yourself, Ryan.
I'm getting there.
You brought this upon the world.
Paul says Will took the term stream too seriously. We are now at the point where we are going to throw out all of the defense, and we're going to look at what we have left, and the chat is going to vote for these.
Okay.
Looney Tunes and Freaks and Geeks. Which is the better show?
Hold on, let me tell
Not
Sam
a defense.
Some shows are 6 seasons in a movie. Other shows are 12 years of shorts and then a show. Sort of.
That was a hell of an argument.
Well,
hopefully we still have viewers watching that can vote. Is Looney Tunes or Freaks and Geeks going to get your vote? Let us know in the chat. Yes.
Did we lose a significant amount of viewers?
Yes, you did.
Was it my David Letterman story?
No, I don't think that was all of it. Okay, so right now we are at 1-1. Yes, we are naming shows.
Hey, I've got a One Tree Hill story.
Such a random show to pick.
I mean, I think of it as a comedy.
I like that show. I don't think it's a comedy.
Oh, my sister went to school with Peyton.
Oh, Haley, what's her name? Haley.
Yeah.
Osment?
No. The lady that she's married to Negan.
I forget what her real name is now.
Haley Reed? Burton.
Hillary Burton, not Haley.
Hillary Burton. We got it.
We got it. We did it, Doc.
Hey, teamwork.
We got a total of 3 votes.
I don't care about the votes. You know what the real takeaway from this show is? We developed teamwork.
Just a reminder to those in the chat, Sam Newman, you're voting for which show is better. And
Looney Tunes or Freaks and Geeks?
Jeremy's pick is Freaks and Geeks. Wink.
Hey, look, I love Freaks and Geeks. Hey, the Mystery Science Theater guys. But Looney Tunes. Wait, is that to me or to everybody else?
Don't let you drink?
Because my doctor agrees is a problem.
Hey, all I want to say is, what's up, Will Dodson?
All right, Looney Tunes has won this one.
It has?
It has by 3-2.
I think it should.
Wait a minute. One.
Oh man, this shit's going to be political right here. This is societal. Think about your votes, people.
Okay, The Jeffersons or It's Always Sunny. Which one is the better show?
They're both long running. Don't just knee jerk this.
Technically, Sunny has more seasons than Jeffersons.
Well, not
technically. Sunny has more seasons than anything.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
it's actually you don't have to get
technical. No, than anything.
Yeah. Than anything? It doesn't have more seasons than Simpsons.
Than any actual live action sitcom.
Oh,
live action. But the Jeffersons could have kept going if they wanted to. Probably, I think so. I'm saying that.
It's a tie so far.
No, I got 2 for Sunny, 1. Now it is. 3 for Sunny, 2 for Jeffersons.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You guys are into rape jokes. That's cool. Daniel Tosh in the chat.
On a scale of 1 to everybody, how many viewers did we lose?
3.
Oh, that's not that bad. I thought we lost.
No, that's closer to the end of this
well, game. The real question is, how many subscribers have you lost?
Probably a significant number. Next, Futurama or Police Squad? Which one is the better show?
These are both J's. How do we decide who won that round?
Ryan. That part does not matter. Okay. You'll see why in just a minute.
I vote for Stan says I'm a doctor, so I outrate my doctor. I'll tell you a funny story about that.
Sam Newton voted for himself.
Should I tell us? Oh, I'm going to tell the story anyway while people are voting. I went to this. I took my kid. No, it's a short story. I took I took my kid to a birthday party, and I met the family that was hosting it. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're a doctor. We got some other doctors here." And he introduced me to. This is true. This is not like a setup. But he introduced me to this couple, and like one of them was a neurosurgeon, and the other was like an obstetrician or something. And they're like, "What kind of doctor are you?" And I go, "Poems." True story. The conversation pretty much ended after that. We did not stay friends.
It was not meant to be.
It got awkward.
Yeah, I think it would. All right, we are now voting Larry Sanders or Arrested Development.
I feel a lot better about my David Letterman story after that.
Really?
That was a great response.
Hey, one time I was in LA and I saw Zach De La Rocha eating a salad in a restaurant. And you know what I did? I met eyes with him and I just nodded. End of story.
Wow, this is not even close. Arrested Development won.
Yeah.
Wow, Gary Shandling's.
I don't think enough people are familiar with the Larry Sanders Show, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that was disrespectful. That's like adding insult to injury.
All right, so the hard part here, we've got 3 Jeremys and 1 Will. We have come down on one side, Looney Tunes versus It's Always Sunny, and Futurama.
Wait. You just articulated my fantasy.
3 Jeremys and 1 Will.
Shh! Don't tell anybody.
We can arrange that. I'll come over with some shrooms and a.
Wow. Okay. On the left, we've got Looney Tunes and Always Sunny. On the right, we've got Futurama and Arrested Development. I'm curious, is there a consensus from you two on that right side, which one you'd rather defend?
On the right side?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about consensus.
Then Futurama. Oh, you want to defend Futurama, Will?
No, I'm saying there's a consensus. I'm totally quakering with you right now.
Oh, he's saying Futurama wins.
Yeah.
No.
We don't even have to defend it, Ryan.
I'm holding you in the light. We're like in alignment.
Ryan's whole show is messed up.
It kind of.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so,
All right. You want me to be combative?
No, it's okay. No, please don't be combative. We'll say Futurama won that one. But now we're going to have 2 more arguments. Will, you're going to defend Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, you're going to defend It's Always Sunny. You officially have 1 minute. Try to take it semi-seriously to win this. 1 minute. This is a final defense for these two, leading to the overall defense.
I got a question before you start the clock.
Yes.
Who goes first?
At this point, are we done with the argument over whether Looney Tunes is a show?
Yes.
Okay.
Looney Tunes is absolutely a show. Will, you are defending Looney Tunes first. You have 1 minute, and your time starts now.
If there was no Looney Tunes, there would be no It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So first of all, there's that. There's the history. Second of all, a perfect marriage of animation, voice performance, and musical composition. The iconography of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Tasmanian Devil, even Pepe Le Pew. I'll say it. These characters not only created cultural icons, they also defined the structure of North American comedy. And I defy anyone to say any different. This shit has been funny for at least 4 generations. I watch Looney Tunes with my 10-year-old daughter. I watch Looney Tunes with my 73-year-old father. And I used to watch Looney Tunes with my dead grandma.
That's it? Okay. Time. Jeremy, you've got 1 minute with It's Always Sunny, and your time starts now.
Listen, I think the best way to explain the cultural significance of this show is what we said earlier, which is that it is indeed the longest running live action sitcom comedy show existing. And that's solely on the merits of the creators and stars, which is the same. While I agree that Looney Tunes is some of the earliest comedy that influenced several shows, I would disagree that it influenced a show like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is totally taking the formulaic standard and flipping it on its head. It's taking several taboo topics and not being afraid to just tackle them head on and go to the most extreme possible with their crazy antics and storylines, and just again a crazy cast of characters that work so well together.
Time.
And what network is it on?
FX.
FX. What is that? Is that a streaming service?
It's just another two-letter company like WB.
FX, all of their shows are on Hulu if you want to watch it. If that's
WB, you mean CW, where I watch Stargirl?
Will did not watch it. He was just trying to diss it.
Okay. Based on the defenses specifically for this round, was Will defending Looney Tunes better, or was Jeremy defending Always Sunny better? Please let us know in the chat. Will thinks it was Spaced Jam.
Can you imagine?
Wait. Is Brian Dennehy in that? Is that what is that? What is FX? How can it? I mean, I know it's the longest running show ever. I know it's the longest running show ever, but like, who watches it?
Everybody watches it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the longest running.
Everybody.
Show.
I can't name a single one. I can't name a single person I know that has ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But I have black friends. So
Jesus.
I don't know what to rebuttal against that. All I can say is Spaced Jam. Can you imagine if Edgar Wright directed a Looney Tunes movie?
Yeah. With his musical beats and cuts and everything? All right, we got 2 for Will. We've got 2 for Jeremy. Sibner says you have to go to a meeting tomorrow.
What did I do that was so wrong? Have I said something inaccurate?
I want to know. Is Travis's vote for me when he says checkmate Jeremy, or is that against me?
I counted that as a vote for you.
I took you, Queen.
Great. Travis, if that wasn't a vote for me, don't respond. Because Brian's counting it.
I'm pretty sure it was a vote for you, but I don't know what I've done to alienate the audience.
I think it was the I have black friends argument.
Oh, sorry, but I do.
Sorry, my friend group is diversified.
Yeah, is that a problem for the audience? I'm looking through the screen names and I'm seeing kind of monochromatic audience here. Do you have a problem with that? Like, maybe you should examine your own self.
Well, the hard part is we've got a tie.
I'm cool with that.
Well,
let's have
Ryan.
I am going to pick, and I do think that the Looney Tunes argument was very good here.
You do?
I was going to suggest we have a tie, but I'll also take the win.
Well, that's not a win yet. We have 2 animated shows here going head to head for the best show ever.
Oh, well, I don't really think that's an argument though between Looney Tunes.
It kind of isn't an argument. I mean, now that it was easy to fight against Looney Tunes with other shows, but when it comes down to 2 animated shows, Will's argument earlier about Looney Tunes being like the inspiration for so many future shows.
Point of order.
It literally is.
This is where I'm changing it.
Oh.
You are not allowed to argue based on the legacy of these shows.
Oh,
You are now literally arguing based on why this is the best literal comedy show of all time. Not meaning it inspired anything else, not meaning it led to the other one, nothing like that. Why it is the funniest show of all time. Jeremy, you are going first with Futurama. You have 45 seconds, and your time starts now.
Futurama is the funniest show of all time because it has dialogue. Whereas Looney Tunes, though definitely a cultural inspiration, relied mostly on visual gags for the most part, which is not a knock against it. But therefore, the writing relied a lot on the visual gags, whereas the writing in Futurama is so quippy and witty and smart that you almost can't catch your breath from one scene to the next because of how fast the jokes are flying by. Not to mention, you got a modern. I was timed?
Yep, 45 seconds, I said.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay. Can I say one last thing? Just because it's so appropriate.
We'll have one last thing after as well.
Okay, great. You do have the modern day Mel Blanc in Futurama, which is voice actor Billy West, who voices Fry, Zap Brannigan, Dr. Zoidberg, the Professor, and so many other characters, the same way Mel Blanc voiced just about every Looney Tunes character, which shows that it was greatly inspired by Looney Tunes, but again, took what Looney Tunes established and then built upon it and just cranked it up to 100.
All right, Will. 45 seconds, Looney Tunes. Without the legacy, your time starts now.
I knew Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc was a friend of mine. That Futurama guy is no Mel Blanc. Consistency of animation, of music, of dialogue, and yes, of visual humor, which, I think animation should probably have. It's easy to be funny when you're just talking shit. Obviously, look at me for the last 2.5 hours. But Looney Tunes managed to, over the course of decades, with multiple characters with their own personalities, create fully formed worlds and even micro genres within itself, tailored to each character.
Time. So now you have one more thing.
The final thing I would say is the answer to the question, did you think Bugs Bunny was hot when he dressed up like a girl, is yes.
I should win just based on
wow.
that closing argument alone.
All right. So that was the thing.
Can we highlight DC's last comment?
Sure.
That's what I was thinking without being able to verbalize it.
All right. So we are now voting, finally, on Will or Jeremy as the final argument of the night.
Ah, fuck, I wish Stan was still here. I would have won with the Lloyd Benson reference.
Stan is still here. He says, I'm conflicted.
Oh, well, give me the Lloyd Benson reference.
And Sam Newman says, good argument, Will. I don't know how.
I think that was sarcasm, Jeremy.
Hey, look, man.
There's no sarcasm font, okay?
Hey, you want to know something funny? I texted.
How, Stan?
I'm gonna be truthful here. I texted Ryan and was like, "Can I include Looney Tunes?" And Ryan was like, "I wouldn't." And I was like, I don't know. Like, maybe I won't. But then I looked it up, and Looney Tunes had so many different syndicated shows on so many different channels. And I grew up watching Looney Tunes on TBS and TV Land. So I ended up including Looney Tunes. And I think it would be totally appropriate if it won.
I mean, look, it made it the whole. If nothing else, if it doesn't win, it made it the whole way.
Well, I think that says something about the impact it's had on a multi-generational audience.
We are tied 2-2.
We couldn't talk about the legacy though, and I want everybody in the comments to remember that. Because if we were, Travis.
Well, Futurama has been on the air almost as long as Looney Tunes was. Like the original.
The original.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, after all of that, it appears Will has won by 1 vote.
I'll never forgive you, Stan and Travis.
Ah, man. I feel despicable.
I'll get you, rascally rabbit. Next time.
Well, you can't make fun of speech impediments anymore. You can't do it.
Well, this has been an illuminating evening. Congrats on all of your debate skills. There will be an internal debate of myself if we should do this ever again. I appreciate the time dedicated tonight.
To not be at work and also have Pinot Grigio like Will.
We should do best dramas.
That's not vague at all.
That would be interesting. Hey, like, what's your defense of The Sopranos?
Okay, before my channel gets deleted, thank you all for your time. Thank you for voting and helping this devolve into whatever this mess is. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and we'll talk again on Thursday.
Stand by everything I said.
I agree.
And you know what?